Hello, hello, peace, peace, peace. Shout out to everybody in the building. Peace, peace, peace. Shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to everybody in the building. Thanks everybody for coming through. Yeah, I don't think this is gonna be a long show, but you know how we're gonna do. It's gonna be a strong show. It ain't gonna be long, but it's gonna be strong. Shout out to everybody in the building. Let me see something real quick. Shout out to everybody in the building. All right. How's everybody doing? I see that we don't got much people in here just now, so I'm gonna give it like maybe another minute or two, and then we're gonna get started. Shout out to everybody in the building. I'll give it like one more minute or two. And family, remember, support the stream any way you can. Support it any way you can. Much appreciated. Thank you. Okay, we could get started now. Shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to everybody in the building. Family, remember, support the stream any way you can. Get the likes up, share, subscribe, hit the bell, join the channel by hitting that join button. Give people's memberships. You know, I take gifts, PayPal, Cash App, Venmo. I take it all. Whole lot of ones beat a whole lot of nuns any day of the week. You already know that. Everything. We take it all over here. Also, support the stream again any way you can. Fire emojis, a comment, hit the like. I said hit the like button, hit the reaction heart, do all that good stuff. Let's give some shout outs. Shout out to the visionary in the building. You already know, red, black, and green, BYB. Shout out to Jackie. Good evening. Shout out to Mac Nasty. What's up? Yep, just in time. Shout out to the thankful servant. Good evening. Shout out to Madison in the building. Let me see if I recognize anybody. Oh, shout out to Lord of Slaughter in the building. Shout out to AKW Beats in the building. Peace, truth. You said AO. I don't know what that's about. Let me see. I think your name is Mac Chief. Mac Chief. Yes, respect. You already know. Respect. See who we got else got in the building. We got Triple X in the building. Shout out to you. Peace to the chat. Salute to Mike. Thank you, Jackie, for the fire emojis. But yeah, let's just get started because I can't be long too. I don't even know I'm even gonna be able to stream tomorrow. But yeah, I can't be long. I want to get started real quick. And I want to get started right here with this bozo. This is Oshay. I'm not even subscribed to his Kenyatta channel. I don't even know how this popped up, but I'm happy it did. This is Oshay doing a video saying, what's the name of this video now? The satisfying downfall of Black unity. So Black unity downfalling is satisfying to him. Again, I didn't watch this video, but we're gonna watch it together because you know I'm not watching none of these bozos by myself anymore. I'm gonna try not to. Shout out to Percy in the building. Salute. Yeah, let's get started.
To be on TikTok, and I came across this particular creator by the name of Bakari. He's a brother that wants to see all Black people win, and he would love for us to stop the infighting in the Black diaspora. But what he said next was very, very important.
I love all my people, and that is Black Americans, that is continental Africans, and that is the African diaspora. All my people. I advocate for the unification of all my people. I need more Black Americans to start taking trips to Africa. You will see in person that they do not have a problem with Black Americans. They love Black Americans. They want us to come back all while I was out there.
There are two things that I noticed here. Number one, he acknowledges that a subset of Black Americans have problems with certain people from Africa that live in the United States, and that those Black Americans, after interacting with those Africans, could believe that those particular Africans hate them. But he said, you should go to Africa yourself, and then you will find out that those Africans do not hate you. And even though he's not saying it directly, he's putting a higher responsibility on Black Americans to spend their money to go fly and meet these Africans to find out for themselves. It's very difficult to
look at this bozo again. Oshay with this nonsense. He keeps pushing this lie that somehow the onus is just on Black people, and we got to spend our money, and we got to do this, and we got to do that, and that's why he's against Black unity, because we can't benefit, quote unquote, monetize it and benefit off it. Whatever goofy stuff he's been saying for the last couple of days. Oshay is literally sitting here pushing against Black unity because he's mad he can't grift Black unity. That's why Oshay thought he could grift Black unity by living in Africa and calling himself a Pan-Africanist. But now he see he can't do that. He's mad. He's mad. And now he's anti-Black unity. Can't make this up. Shout out to everybody in the building. Make sure you're supporting the stream any way you can. Your mother, and I'm blocking you. But yeah, let's get back to this. Oh, shout out to the Palawala in the building. Shout out to AZ in the building. Yeah, let's keep it going. Salute. You already know.
Say, go spend your money and fly someplace else when you believe a person from that same group hates you right there in America. And guess what? What you'll find out is if you fly to Africa, that the Africans that live on the continent have a different perspective about Black Americans, usually than those that live in the United States. And I was like, that makes sense until I had a good conversation with Brother George Macon over at Street Media TV. And he lives in...
Still with the George Macon bozo. George Bacon. See, this is Oshay keeps saying George Bacon. This bozo is not smart. He's not intelligent. He's really stupid. Like, I know people who met him in real life. They said they can't believe how stupid this guy is. Oh, shout out to Milton. I think that's Levant. I can't really see. Thank you for sending the jewels. He just gifted. He set it off for the night with the gift right here. 440 gems. Much appreciated. It says Unc Alert. I'll take that. I'll be Unc status now. Thank you. Thank you for the support. Let's keep it going.
Philadelphia, where there is a huge African population there. And he said, listen, man, you can't really compare you going to Africa and meeting Africans on their home soil. At that particular time, they're in their own ecosystem. Yeah, they're going to show love to America. But what Brother Bakari doesn't address, when those Africans come to America, that those Africans typically change their perspective, at least some of them, towards Black Americans. And it goes from meeting them in their own habitat where they're humble to now those particular Africans becoming a little bit more angrier or disgusted with African Americans or Black Americans.
That don't even sound right. If somebody gonna be angry and disrespectful to you, it makes more sense for them to do it in their homeland where they could get away with it much easier. That don't even sound right. So somebody's gonna be respectful to you in their house on their home turf, but then come and disrespect you in your house. That doesn't make any sense. You got it backwards. That's what happened when you listen to stupid people like George Macon saying stupid stuff like that. Like, oh, yeah, Africans are nice to you in Africa, but they're not nice to you in America. That doesn't even make any sense. They more likely to be mean to you in America. Like, none of that makes any sense. You can't make this up, man. This is a grown man saying it. Look at Oshay's face right now. Look at his face right now. I gotta capture that. Look at his face right now. He's literally saying this. He's a dummy. Total bozo. Let's keep this going.
And then a light bulb came up into my mind. I took a moment and I thought about a video that I reviewed here on the channel with a man from Zimbabwe. And he was talking about the early relationship that South Africans had with Zimbabweans when his Zimbabwean mother would come to the border of South Africa and she would meet with South Africans. And what he said was touching.
Many of our mothers were cross-border traders. They traveled here to South Africa to buy and sell goods, right? Before many of us ever set our foot here, right? If you're Zimbabwean, you know exactly what I'm talking about here, right? Our mothers came back home with stories of kindness here. They came back with clothes, man, sometimes with food. Some South Africans even offered money, simply wanting to help, all right? That is why when the Zimbabwe's economy collapsed in 2008, many people chose South Africa, right? We had grown up hearing about the hospitality of its people, right?
Now, after Zimbabwe's
I know what Oshay is, the point he about to make, which makes no sense. You're about to say, like, oh, look, the South Africans were nice to the Zimbabweans, but now they're being mean to them and telling them to get out with xenophobia 20 years later. Oshay, that defeats what you just said. Your point you was making with George Bacon is that Africans are nice to you when you in their country, but they mean to you when they go to your country. Well, according to the person you just played, the South Africans were nice to the Zimbabweans at the border when the Zimbabweans were still in their own country. But now I know you're about to talk about xenophobia going on in South Africa right now. Well, guess what? That xenophobia is happening because the Zimbabweans are in their country. I'm not justifying it, by the way. I'm just showing y'all how Oshay doesn't make sense. What he said doesn't make sense. He's using this as an example to make his point, but it doesn't make sense. Shout out to East Coast Kev in the building for coming through and setting it off to help me reach my goal with the 10. You said. Yes. He only reason I say Oshay is not a bigger bozo than Tariq because Tariq got a bigger platform than them, and Oshay is chasing behind him. Oshay might be one of the most dangerous bozos because he's living in Africa talking like this. And they could use him to try to legitimize their talking point. Like, look, our FBA brother, Oshay Duke Jackson, who really is a Pan-Africanist, who really moved to Africa, who really does good things in Africa. And even he says, we right. We right about everything we ever said about these Africans. We right. Shout out to you, bro. Family, make sure y'all saluting and shouting out everybody who's supporting the stream. Make sure you shout out Milton. Make sure you shout out East Coast Kev. Oh, look. I just got 800 gems. Turn it up. I'm gonna do that. Shout out to Mr. G's to what's that? To the love. Shout out to you for that. Thank you, Mr. G's to the love for those 800 gems. Make sure y'all shouting Mr. G's out, man. Shout East Coast Kev out, Milton out. Everybody supporting the stream. Shout them out. And also, family, remember you can support on a PayPal, the Cash App, the Venmo if you don't want to be seen, or if that's just easier for you. You can support there, and you let me know whether you want to be seen, you don't want to be seen, you want the shout out, you don't want the shout out, you want me to read your comment, the message you sent me or not. Just let me know. Yeah, let's keep this going.
Economy started to collapse. Many Zimbabweans went into South Africa to live and to work. Now, everything was all good at first until it wasn't. Then when South Africans started to complain about certain things like Zimbabweans using the healthcare system that they pay for, certain Zimbabweans came online and said this:
free pills.
What did I say? I didn't even watch this video. And look, Oshay is making the point I said he was gonna. He tried to make the point that I said he was gonna try to make it. He can't be this stupid. You know how stupid you got to be the fatler hear this. You can't be paying attention. Like, this is you're disproving your point. You're proving the exact opposite with this example. The exact opposite. Like, you can't make this up. Shout out to Mr. G's to the love. Yeah, that's I was about to say that, but that's the love for the 200 gems. Sunshine, I take it. Take it. Whole lot of ones beat a whole lot of nuns any day of the week. Make sure y'all saluting, bro, for doubling up with another gift. Also, family. Yeah, like, this is just ridiculous. Like, this is a grown man talking like this, and people are co-signing it. You can't make this up. Like, Oshay, like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, how does this make any sense? You literally just contradicted yourself. But people are still hold this up as some type of example, and I'm pretty sure Oshay going to talk later on about how Black unity doesn't make sense because you can't monetize it and get a bunch of money and take control over people and use it as leverage. He said that before, by the way. He don't like Pan-Africanism because he can't use it as leverage over the Africans.
Don't even cook in your own house. Free pills that you don't even make yourself. Pills that are donated from the outside. Pills that are coming from NGOs. Pills that can literally help someone live and protect them and their unborn child. You make noise about pills. You get angry over pills.
What we have is a person who was most likely humble in Zimbabwe, now becoming entitled in South Africa. And we must...
Okay, you saying that this is a person becoming entitled. How is this person becoming entitled by getting medicine? How is that entitlement? Humans need medicine to live. That's like saying somebody's entitled because they feel like they need access to clean drinking water. Or they entitled because they need a place to use the bathroom. That's not entitlement. You sound like a racist white person, like say accusing a Black person of being entitled because He's talking about medicine, having access to medicine. Would you call the Chinese people living in South Africa entitled because they want access to medicine? Or the Indians, the Arabs, the white people, any other group? No. Shout out to the Boogeyman for coming through with the 1999. Much appreciated. Thank you for coming through with that 1999. Make sure y'all shouting out the Boogeyman, man. Yeah, that's the funny part. I've been telling people, like, I don't know if you was in the building yesterday when we covered that old Oshay when he was celebrating the death of Corinne Gaines. Oshay been a sellout. He came in the game a sellout. He came in the game a sellout. He came in the game a sellout, but he was able to rebrand himself because people be being too nice with these bozos. People are too easily let these bozos rebrand themselves. I think one of the reasons Oshay even moved to Africa to make it better to rebrand himself, where he could move to Africa, get some money, help the locals get some money, like start a business, hire some locals, pay them, overpay them, just so he could use that as a shield and a deflection from people calling him out on his past behavior and his current behavior. That's why. A shout out to you, bro. Thank you. You helped me get one step closer to my goal. Let's keep it going.
Understand that people do this all over the world. It's not unique to Black Americans if they say that Caribbeans come in and Africans come in, and then after living there, they feel entitled or they feel that they have the unmitigated gall to talk to you crazy or to basically tell you that you're lazy. I mean, these conversations happen everywhere. I lived in Poland. The Ukrainians, after they've been there for a while, will do the same thing. I'm pretty sure Jamaicans will say the same thing about Haitians and all of that. Now, the reality is a lot of people in the home country become.
Oh, also, that's a bad example because one, the FBA bozos that you trying to justify with their xenophobia don't got their own country. That's rule number. That's step number one. How you gonna try to be xenophobic in a country that ain't yours? You ain't got no country. You ain't got no country. Got no institutions. Got no jobs. Got no benefits for nobody. You ain't got nothing for nobody. The average FBA barely got a pot to piss in the window to throw it out of. So how are they going to be entitled and think that talk about somebody else being entitled because they're getting basic amenities? Like how? That don't make no sense. Because the average FBA is sitting around letting the white man hold them out and not letting them get stuff that they deserve. They feel like, oh, other people speaking up for themselves are being entitled. That's plantation nigga shit that you promoting right now. We not doing that. We not doing that. That's out, Oshay. You's a bozo.
Extremely frustrated when you get entitled foreigners, people who have not, let's say, built the country or fought for the country, talking to you in a way that uses your resources in which they have not contributed, which becomes a point of contention right now.
And they do contribute. What are you talking about? See, even we go back to the South African example. Those people in South Africa pay taxes. They start businesses, they pay taxes, they do all that. That's why South Africa is hurting right now. When now they want to arrest the xenophobes. They want to arrest them now because they costing South Africa so much money. So many business owners have left South Africa. So many people who had jobs needed in South Africa are gone now. They're gone. A lot of people who work jobs, they're gone. They're gone. That tax-based revenue is gone. It's gone. Those people put more into the system than they ever got out of it. It's the same thing right here. That whole scapegoating immigrants, that's always a scapegoat and a lie for people who fail. That's failure talk. That's failure talk. Because I have yet to see an example of somebody anywhere who try to scapegoat immigrants for their problems, show that those immigrants take more than they give. Or they don't they don't fill some important role in society. That if you take them away, society, life's gonna go down for everybody. Society could possibly even collapse. Like, you can't make this up. Can't. Oh, shout out to Justin Marsh, my first moderator in the building. He just gifted 20 memberships. Family, if Justin Marsh gifted you a membership, make sure you keep it going and make sure you thank him. Everybody, make sure y'all salute Justin Marsh for coming through strong like he always do with the 20 memberships. Much appreciated, bro. Thank you. Thank you for all your support. Shout out to Kevin Johnson in the building. Shout out to Baca in the building. Yeah, shout out. We got Drill Real the Bozo. I do got solutions. See, and that's another thing. Also, y'all cry. I talk about solutions. I gave y'all the solution. I've been giving people the solution this whole time since I've been on the internet. And guess what? Nobody listened, and now we are here. It's consequence time. It's too late to talk about what about solutions. Y'all got to deal with that. Y'all was Trump supporters. Y'all deal with it. Y'all said Trump was better than the Democrats. Y'all said Trump was better than Hillary. Y'all said Trump was better than Biden. Y'all said Obama didn't do nothing for black people. Y'all said when Trump is better than Kamala. So now Trump is in office. He's doing what he's doing. Now deal with it. Deal with it. Don't ask me nothing. Don't ask me nothing. The closest thing you're going to get out of a solution from me, people like you, the closest y'all going to get a solution from me is me telling you BYB. That's it. That's it. That's the closest to a solution I got for y'all. BYB. BYB. That's the closest I got. Follow me. That's it. Shout out to Lee D. Clinton in the building. Yes, Oshay is a fraud. He's a fraud. He's a fraud. Like, get out of here. I hate when they do this bows on this. That's the biggest deflection. You point out their flaws and what they promoting, and then what do they say? Do they say you wrong? No, they just say, "Oh, well, what is your solution?" That's a trick bag. That solution talk is a trick bag, especially for people who are a part of the problem. How you a part of the problem and you talking about what's the solution? The solution is people like you gotta beat your feet, get gone. That's the solution. That's solution number one.
Like America, as well as South Africa. And I wanted to do this video today, not just to talk about the issue, but to have a resolution. And here's what I think that you should do if you encounter such Africans in the United States. If they tend to have this particular attitude, what you should do is ignore them. Huh? The reason why you should ignore that person is very simple. Number one, that person is not worth your time. And I've seen plenty of people do this, online or be rude in person from certain immigrant communities. And that's the truth, right? But I would be lying to say that all people from these immigrant communities or the Africa or the Caribbean communities would be like that. And it's easy to put everybody under a broad brush after you have certain experiences.
But that's what you're doing right now, Oshay. You putting everybody under a broad brush after certain experiences that you claim that have happened to you. And we don't even know if it's true or not. We don't know. None of the stuff you claiming that you've been through is actually true. We don't know. We don't know. And even if it was true, you have no right to engage in the behavior that you're engaging in. Because I always say, for everything you crying about, or any of you other FBA bozos is crying about, white people have done 1,000,000 times worse. They have done 1,000,000 times worse. They're doing 1,000,000 times worse, and they're planning to do 1,000,000 times worse. You can't have this energy with nobody else, man. All this picking and choosing, I'm not going for it. Y'all picking and choosing with everybody. Picking and choosing with everybody. But yeah, let's keep this going.
What I would do clearly is ignore that person, because I'm going to tell you why. The individual that you're talking about in person is not valuable to anybody. If a person would be entitled with you in America when they came from a poor country and then all of a sudden they're entitled in America, that person is no good to anyone. That person that talks like that doesn't do anything for their own community, and they don't do anything for white people. So largely that person that behaves like that is unsuccessful.
Oh my God. I'm about to really take a break. How did I know Oshay was going to bring up white people? Like, I just talked about how they don't got this energy with white people and all this other stuff, and how also FBA is just a bunch of wanna be down with white people so much and ignore them, all their problems. What did Oshay just say? Oshay like, oh yeah, they don't got no value because they don't do nothing for us and they don't do nothing for white people. So value is contingent on what they do for white people. Like, so if a black person ain't putting money in a white man's pocket, he ain't got no value. He don't matter. Like, come on, Oshay. Come on. Come on now. Did I get that wrong? Am I getting that wrong? Somebody let me know. Did I get that wrong? Shout out to the Boogeyman for coming through with the double up with the $4.99 this time. Exactly. That's of course what he did. But it wasn't just for views. Oshay really meant that. Remember, Oshay, when he first got on the internet, I don't even think he was even trying to be a content provider. He was just ranting because he hate black women. That's it. And he just so happened to blow up. Like like come on, all the time. All the time. You can't make this up, man. All the time. But shout out to the Boogeyman. Make sure y'all showing love to the Boogeyman for coming through. He helped me get one step closer to my goal. You already know.
And I knew a person like that in Uganda, and they were just like that, super entitled. They had a lot to say. And that person right now is dead broke. And that's typically what happens. Entitled people typically never care about what somebody else wants, right? And if you're a Black American, you simply just don't have the time to be engaged in somebody who is not even worth it. You can only engage somebody who wants to bring you value. And I think that I want to calibrate some of the stuff that I'm saying so that we can focus on who wants to bring you value and who doesn't.
Exactly. Again, about the leverage, about, people, I'm not doing Pan-Africanism anymore because I'm not personally getting a bag off of it. Like Pan-Africanism was about a bag. Like it was about like it was like going to work or something like that. Like it was like starting a business. That's why Oshay really mad with it too. If you want to be real, he thought he was going to go to Africa, have everybody bowing and scraping before him, and he was going to run up a big bag, raping the game over there. And it didn't work out like that. And now he mad.
People who don't want to bring you value are usually the same people that don't bring their own community value. So as much as we want to take it personal, trust me, they do this everywhere they go. I've seen this 1,000 times. People who are problematic with the Black Americans or people who are problematic with Nigerians.
Exactly, true. If they should be ignored, why are you talking about them? You shouldn't even be talking about them. The only thing you should be telling people is ignore them. That's it. Tell people to ignore them. You don't need to make videos day after day after day. Your message should be simply ignore them. You need to follow your own advice, Oshay. Somebody called Oshay. Dookie Jackson. Exactly. Like he needs to mind his own business. Exactly, McKinsley. Shout out to McKinsley in the building. Ridiculous. Yeah, let's get back to this.
Or with Caribbeans are problematic with the whites. It happens like that. So those people are going to fall regardless. Who should we focus?
So people being problematic with white people, that's a sign of being broke, and you can't focus on them, you can't build with them. Why? Because they got problems with white people. Maybe that makes sense to have problems with white people. If you live in an area and white people rape in the area, to have problems with it. I know you don't got no problems with it because you're soft, you're a bozo, you don't care what white people do. You the white, like somebody just called you the white man's pet. Like your whole, that's the reason you even blew up on the YouTube. You thankful to the white man. That's the only reason you blew up on YouTube. Nobody else was checking for you. Nobody else wanted to hear you. You had no friends in real life. Nobody was cool with you, nothing. But that white man came. That white man came and said, I like the way you talking about those other black people. Let me support you. Let me big you up. Let me help you. So you eternally grateful to them. But yeah, you're a total bozo and a dweeb. Shout out to Irvin Palmer for coming through with the 10 gems. Yes, Oshay is a happy poop. He's a happy poop. Make sure y'all shouting out Irvin Palmer for coming through with the 10 gems. Much appreciated. Whole lot of ones beat a whole lot of nuns any day of the week. Even though I don't know what the gems mean, I take them. All support is good support. Remember, I'm not in the algorithm. Help force me into the algorithm with support of any kind.
We should focus on the people who do want to work with us. And that's an important part of the Black unity stuff that we should be talking about. And I think that we got to understand that everybody or most people cannot be included in the work that people may want to do in a, in the FBA community only, or, if you're from the Black American Foundational Black American community and you want to work with the larger Black world. A lot of people say that they do want to do this work, but in order to do this work, it is a sacrifice, right? And for you to put in a sacrifice, there must be some level of a payoff in the end. It's the only way that we can make things work. And the only way we can get a payoff is to work with people who appreciate your efforts, your time, and your talents. And a lot of Black people do not appreciate your effort, your time, and your talents. But there are a lot of people who do. And those people that want to give you value, that's who we should have time for, guys. When you see people that are just being rude for no reason.
Exactly. Shout out to the boogeyman for the triple up, the tripling up with another with $9.99 this time. Yes, every time somebody calls out FBA for being a hate cult, their xenophobia, their connections to white nationalism, they want to try to play this game. And now he's talking about, oh, we can't get value out of these people and stuff like that. Pan-Africanism is not about running up a bag. I'm not Pan-Africanist because I'm trying to run up a bag. I thought I had my phone on mute. I'm not Pan-Africanist because I'm trying to run up a bag. Like, I'm pushing Pan-Africanism because that's the right thing to do. I do see Black people as my brothers and sisters all around the world. And I do believe we should work together whenever we can. I believe that. And guess what? I don't need to never make a penny pushing that or saying that or believing that. If I never made a dime off saying that, yes, we are all brothers and sisters and we should work together, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. I'll make money some other way. I'll make money some other way, especially when I know I live in a country where racist white people will push anti-Blackness to their own detriment. Their own detriment. They'll push it to their own detriment. Like, yeah. Like, come on now. Let's keep it going.
Or they have excuses, or they don't want to listen, or they don't really want to address the claims being met that you have. They don't want to respect you. That's all it is. But anybody who wants to engage with you, they will respect you. They'll respect your culture. They'll respect your way of doing things. They'll try to adopt. They'll do anything that they can to show you that they want to be in your life because you have something to offer. And guess what? When they do that to you, you will then adopt what they have to offer, right? And you'll learn more about them. It's called a fair exchange. Entitled people, nobody likes them anywhere. I think we see that in South Africa. We see that in North America. We see it all around the world. People who want to freeload off the system, not put in any work, sit there and talk crap, are going to have a tough time everywhere in life. And all they are really doing is giving you more opportunity to go ahead and be successful. And that's something that I thought about since I had my debate with Afro Think Tank. I've thought about it since I've been talking to George Macon.
I gotta go watch that. I'm probably gonna watch that on my own because I ain't gonna torture people that bad to have to watch George Macon and Oshay talk together. Look at Oshay face in this picture. This is crazy. Yeah, Tariq ain't acknowledging him no more. He already hold Oshay out. It make no sense to acknowledge him. Oshay's a dweeb. I wouldn't acknowledge him neither. Total bozo. Total bozo. Yeah, we gotta watch him. Because if I gotta watch him, y'all gotta watch him with me. It's just that simple. Gotta watch Oshay. It was recommended because again, like you said, like we've been covering this issue with him going back and forth with Afro Think Tank, and this is him speaking on it even more. I'm not gonna be thankful. It's just this clip, and we now doing the George Macon Oshay clip. Like, oh my God, that'll be like 5 hours, 6 hours, because you're gonna have to stop it every 2 minutes, every 2 seconds, and talk for like 5 minutes to explain the dumb stuff that they saying. Yes, Justin March, racism is very expensive. Racism is very expensive. America going down right now because of racism. All because of racism. All because of racism. And yes, this is pure babble. Pure babble. FBAs are the freeloaders. They freeload off everything. They freeload off of regular Black people's accomplishments who want nothing to do with them. Like, if you notice this, Nobody regular in the black community cares about yeah, they don't care about Oshay Duke Jackson, but they don't care about FBA. They don't care about them. Total bozos. Exactly, godlike Oshay Duke Jackson. But yeah, let's get back to this. Shout out to everybody in the building. Let's get back to this.
And not just to always complain about the obvious, right? Because the obvious is always going to be there, but to also use the platform to educate, to understand that time is limited. We will not always be here, and we always don't have time to sit back and think about what somebody's doing, why are they doing it? I mean, who gives a damn, right? Whenever I come to Nairobi or Dubai, like my time is already gone because so many people in the country want to see me, want to talk to me about something serious. I largely don't even have time to really, enter into something in real life that doesn't make sense. I still think that you should leave all your opportunities open for people who are respectful, people who are mindful, people who are appreciative of your time, regardless of where they're coming from the diaspora. And I largely think if we look at it in these terms, some of the problems that we have in the diaspora might be mitigated really quick, and it will weed a lot of people out who don't want to be there. You have a lot of people that claim Pan-Africanism. You have a lot of people that claim a whole bunch of stuff, and they're just talking, not doing anything, calling names, sticking up for bad arguments, and they really don't want to show anybody any real value. And that's okay. Those are the people that should be largely removed from the movement. So, guys, what do you think? It's your boy, Oshay Duke Jackson.
Yeah, that's enough of that. That's enough of that. Shout out to you, McKinsley. Yeah, I see it as one big racial group. Like you said, ethnic group. Yeah, one big thing. We can do Q&A if you want. Shout out to everybody in the building. If y'all want to do Q&A, let me know. Or if you want to, matter of fact, everybody get your questions ready. If you're in the building, we're going to do Q&A tomorrow. I'm going to do my best to start bright and early as I can, and we're going to do Q&A. It's just going to be Q&A. That's it. Ask me any questions you want. So I got you tomorrow. Tomorrow, McKinsley. Tomorrow, we're going to do Q&A. Everybody ask me any questions they want. Any questions you want. That's what the whole show is going to be about. Just Q&A. Unless somebody requests or asks for something different, that's what it's going to be. But we definitely going to do Q&A. Definitely going to do Q&A. Definitely going to do that. Shout out to you for that good idea. I forgot about that. Yeah, but let's get off this Oshay bozo. Let's get on to another bozo we haven't saw in a minute now. This is Afro Elite, aka Negro Peon. Negro Unelite. Let's see what he got to say. He's doing some performative attack, talking about, I think he says black immigrants are disrespecting Martin Luther King. I don't know. I didn't watch this. Let's get into this. Shout out to everybody in the building. Make sure you're supporting the stream any way you can.
Dr. Martin Luther King is one of the most lied on people of all time. The lies that are being told is to dismantle the respect that the community has for him and to derail the movement foundational Black Americans are in.
You lost right out the gate. Nobody attacks Dr. Martin Luther King's image more than the people who call themselves FBA now. The only reason y'all stopped attacking his image is because y'all saw a clip on YouTube that's talking about how he said, we coming to get our check. And I fear that I integrated my people into a burning house. That's the only reason y'all have done a 180 on Martin Luther King. But y'all still attack the civil rights movement. And there's no way to big up Martin Luther King and attack the civil rights movement and say you still pro Martin Luther King. It don't work like that. It don't work like that. So that's y'all. Because a lot of the quote unquote lies that you saying been told about him, y'all were the biggest pushers of those lies. Nobody pushed more hate against Martin Luther King than the people who now call themselves FBA. Like this, we did it the other day. You had that bozo, student white lies, trying to defend the march against a march on Selma, while still turning around attacking the civil rights movement. You can't big up that march or defend the legacy of that march, but attack the civil rights movement. It don't work like that. It don't work like that. But yeah, let's get into this.
The price of freedom is debt. We're coming to get our check.
You heard it right in the intro. We coming to get our check. That's why y'all like him so much, because he said we coming to get our check.
Welcome, my brothers and my sisters. How are you all doing this evening? I hope you already hit that like button, subscribe, all that stuff, because we have much to discuss. I want to have a conversation with everybody, because this is a very dangerous thing that I'm seeing. I'm seeing something very dangerous and malicious. I'm seeing a lot of people, mostly people from outside of our community, try to do malicious misinformation retelling of the civil rights movement and our ancestors, all right, to manipulate us into believing their distorted, evil version of our history. And it's very clear what they're doing. And we definitely need to address this, debunk this, and get the history straight, especially when it comes to the people who have sacrificed so much for us, such as Dr. King and other ancestors as well, too. What am I referring to? I'm referring to this one video.
Oh, my God. This is performative. Because if you really cared about their quote-unquote sacrifice, you wouldn't be FBA. You wouldn't be FBA. Nobody who made any sacrifice for the Black community ever would have been a part of something called FBA. None of them. None of them. Without question. Without question. Like, come on now. This is ridiculous.
Or this one thing I saw on Instagram. This clip I saw on Instagram. I'm going to show it to you guys. Are y'all ready? Here we go. Okay. So this is what I saw. I'm going to play it for you. Hold on.
We thought they'd never figure it out on their own. Boy, were we wrong.
Hold on. I hate the fact that you can't really rewind on Instagram, because this is not the beginning of the clip. This is not the beginning of the clip. Oh, boy.
These Black people are actually more successful than the whites. And we can't have that now, can we?
All right, hold on. You know what? Because I want to play it in the beginning, what I'm going to do is I'm going to refresh. All right. Okay, there we go. There we go. All right.
Martin Luther King Jr.
Okay. There we go.
First, I want to say I love the work that you're doing as a reverend. It's really motivating how you can bring people together. My name's Brian from the CIA. How would you like to come and work for us? See, back when we freed the slaves, we thought they'd never figure it out on their own. Boy, were we wrong. These Black people are actually more successful than the whites. We can't have that now, can we? See, they got their own barbershops, they got their own bus line, they got their own everything. So their Black dollars are never ending up in white pockets. That's where you come in, Martin. How would you like to lead your people into slaughter for a couple of bucks? Listen, I know the church isn't paying that much. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to start the civil rights movement. You're going to make these people feel like it's not fair that they can't go into white establishments and spend their Black dollars. Now, there's going to be some pushback, but you guys are going to march peacefully until we're able to desegregate everything. That way, under guise, we can re-enslave your people. And then, Martin, you know what you're going to do? You're going to get them all to vote Democrat. Yeah, I know. The same party that loves slavery. See, right now, we believe that the Black family is only doing well because they have two-parent households. And they're sticking together. We're going to break that up. See, we're only going to offer welfare to families that only have women in the household. And women, just like they've proven time and time again, they're always going to choose the money over the man. Because that's why they're with them in the first place. Once we break up the Black family, then we'll be able to route those Black men right to jail, where we can enslave them again. Now, don't you worry, Martin. You're going to go down in the history books as a hero. No one's ever going to know that you worked with us. What do you say, kid? You ready to have a dream? Martin Luther King Jr. First, I want to...
Everything this dude said in this clip is stuff that all these FBA bozos were saying literally like a couple of years ago. In fact, the people who call themselves FBA now are the main pushers of that narrative. I know how I know this, because I used to have to argue with them year after year. You don't know how much hate I got when I used to celebrate Martin Luther King Day. I used to come on this internet and celebrate Martin Luther King Day. That was the first time in my life I ever ran into not only a Black person, but a group of Black people attacking me. Even people I was cool with on this internet, attacking me because I was celebrating Martin Luther King. And they all sounded just like this. It's just now they have tweaked it a little bit because they have heard speeches of Martin Luther King saying, "Oh, I feared I integrated my people into a burning house." And I'm coming for the check. So now the new narrative is, yeah, all that's true, but Martin Luther King was actually tricked. It wasn't, he didn't do it on purpose. He got tricked into doing it. And then when he got tricked into doing it, he realized he got tricked, and then he tried to change course, and then that's when Jesse Jackson and them set him up to get killed. That's the only reason they killed them. Not because he didn't mess black people up. It's because he realized he messed black people up, and then he tried to change course. That's literally an FBA teaching, word for word, bar for bar. That's the new teaching. That's why they still disrespect the civil rights movement. So now what? So now you're going to get into a performative stance and say, oh, look, there's a black immigrant attacking Martin Luther King and the civil rights movement. I can't believe this. It's just going to be a bunch of performative nonsense. You're not going to actually even argue probably against anything that was said in this video because you believe that. Your big homie Tariq believed that. Y'all all believe that. Y'all was the biggest pushers of that. Shout out to Lee D. Clinton for coming through with the 5. Much appreciated. You said, what is this BS? This is the BS that Tariq and them have taught for like over a decade in the community. That's what's so funny about this. A lot of the stuff that FBA bozos is crying about and saying, look at what these black immigrants are saying, is stuff that they taught black immigrants. They taught black immigrants this. Just like, again, yesterday when we played the clip of Oshay and we played the intellectual giant, rest in peace, David Carroll. He was talking down on black people in America and lifting up black immigrants. He made it his business to separate all the negativity that we see in the black community in America from black immigrants. Like, no, this is the black American Negro who's doing this. It's the black American Negro sagging his pants. It's the black American Negro who think being a gangster is cool, thinking going to jail is cool. It's the black American Negro who don't want to get educated. They made it their business to push that. A lot of black immigrants that you even hear saying that learned it from people like Tariq and them. I know that for a fact because that's another way I used to beef with these bozos. To see the 180 is just crazy to me. To see it is just crazy. But yeah, let's see what Afro Elite the Bozo got to say about this.
Say I love the work that you're doing as a reverend.
Okay. All right. Now, let me address this. And I address some of the things in the comments. I'm going to show you the comments in just a second. It's very important that I address this, though. Number one, first and foremost, because I already know. I know y'all, so I already know. I know y'all first question, where is this guy from? A lot of people are saying he's Dominican. He's not Dominican.
Again, what does it matter where he's from when again, this is FBA deflection 101. The dude is saying something that y'all all promoted. This is what y'all said. This is what y'all promoted. So now it's, oh, where is he from? This is literally something that you can find y'all saying. I'm pretty sure I got receipts of y'all saying similar stuff like this and attacking the civil rights movement and the people in it. I know for a fact I do. I don't know if I still got them on saved on my channel because they probably deleted them, but I'm pretty sure y'all do. Shout out to Lee D. Clinton for coming through with the double up. He doubled up with another 5. Yes, he comes from David Carroll. He comes from Tommy Sotomayor. He come from Sergeant Willie P. He come from all that. Oh, so I guess it's confirmed that he did die from COVID. I never knew what he died from, but I guess he did die from COVID. I guess he was just, running behind Trump. Trump said it wasn't real. So it's like, you're right. It ain't real. And went outside, caught it, and died. Rest in peace. But yeah, let's get back to this. You see how he didn't address nothing that was said in the video. Now he wants to say, well, where is this guy from? It's just pure performative. This is performative.
Turns out he is East African. This was an East African guy. Very important to note that this guy is East African.
There's nothing important about that. Address what was said again and tell and explain why that's different than what you and your bozo leadership used to say and still say to some extent.
Right. Now he's coming over here implying not only that the civil rights movement or integration was a mistake, but implying that Dr. King was an agent for the CIA who worked to sell out the black community.
So y'all don't teach integration was a mistake? Y'all literally was celebrating Trump when people were saying, hey, we can't let Trump get in. He's going to try to bring back Jim Crow 2.0. Y'all said y'all not scared of segregation. Y'all said black people live better under segregation. Isn't that saying integration is a mistake? Isn't saying black people live better under segregation saying integration is a mistake? Isn't saying that you happy if we go back to Jim Crow 2.0 that it don't matter? Shout out to East Coast Kev for coming through with a 5. Much appreciated, bro. Make sure y'all shouting out everybody supporting the stream. This is getting me closer to my goal. Oh, you did? Oh, dag, I didn't even know you sent me that. I'm about to go take a look at that. We're going to have to take a look at that after this. Shout out to you, East Coast Kev. I didn't even know that. Thank you. Much appreciated, bro. Make sure y'all shouting out East Coast Kev for always coming through. Yeah, let's keep it going.
For us to, I guess, return into slavery. Now, so you all understand, and I'm going to get into this a little bit later, so you all understand, he wouldn't be his ass over in America, period, without the civil rights movement. Okay? So
isn't that another, first of all, that's not true. Second, another thing that's important to mention. Didn't y'all say that was a mistake of the civil rights movement? So why are you, again, this is just nonsense. But yeah, let me keep it going. Because you're not addressing none of the stuff that he's saying. Because I'm just getting too worked up. So I'm going to just let him talk.
Let's be abundantly clear about that. Number two, Dr. King actually did not start the civil rights movement. If y'all didn't know that, the civil rights movement was not something he initiated.
Yes, he didn't start the civil rights movement. Harry Belafonte did. Martin Luther King, he was brought to New York to discuss his role in the civil rights movement. Let's keep it going.
He wasn't initiating the civil rights movement. He became a leader in the civil rights movement. One of the leaders. He was not the whole leader of the movement, but he became one of the leaders in the movement. However, it wasn't like everybody was just cool and then Dr. King was like, hey, I got this great idea, the civil rights movement. That's not what happened. Let's get to some of the comments though. Let's get to that. Okay. Now, before his lineage came up, I was all like, being against integration is one thing, but joking that MLK was some secret agent against the community is not it.
That is it. Like I said, being against integration is one thing, but joking that he was some type of secret agent is not it. That's literally what y'all teach. Integration was a bad thing. MLK was working for those people, and then he woke up, and then that's when they killed them. Because MLK stopped talking about integration. He even said, I feared I integrated my people into a burning house, and we not doing that no more. We coming for our check. And then that's when they killed them. That's literally a teaching of y'all's. You can't even go against the teaching. Only thing you can say is, well, implying that he was a secret agent, well, against the community, that ain't it. But you never refuted the fact that y'all claimed that he was against the community. And again, y'all claim he was working for those people. So whether he knew he was working for them or not, isn't that making him some type of agent? That's literally y'all teachings. Y'all can't even stand on business. Saying being against integration is one thing, but joking that he was a secret agent against the community is not it. So what was he then? According to y'all, what was he then? Who was he working for? Because you just said the civil rights movement was not one thing. Yes, that's correct. It was a lot of people in higher positions that helped put that the civil rights movement together. And not all of them were black. If you know, you know. And a lot of them chose Martin Luther King and chose the integrationist route because they was against black separation. They was against black separation. Remember, It's either black people, nobody wanted segregation. So it was only two choices, integration or separation. And a lot of people who don't look like us wanted the integration. And one of the reasons they did want the integration is because of black people being able to spend money with them. Like, don't act like that ain't the truth. That is the truth. That's why when people said, I forgot what they said. When they said that you had a situation before where Jewish people was claiming that black people were being anti-Semitic or pushing anti-Semitism by simply pushing by black. Just like you got Asians right now. You got Asians right now claiming that black people not wanting to shop with them is anti-Asian and goes against the spirit of integration. And Martin Luther King.
Not it. And then you had some people who agreed. Then some people, it's proven he led his people into a burning building, not purposely. They bamboozled him.
Look, it's right there. It's right there. It's right there. See, again, this is literally the teaching. This is literally the teaching. This is literally the teaching that Martin Luther King, because again, at first he was an agent who did it. Then he got turned into a useful idiot where he got the white man bamboozled him. They put him in a trick bag. He fell for the banana in the tailpipe. And about time he woke up, about time he got conscious to what he did, he tried to change course. And that's when they killed him and put Jesse Jackson in position. That's literally a teaching of y'all's. Y'all been teaching that for decades. That's what's so funny. If you had found out that this guy, because you said he's East African, allegedly. I'm gonna say allegedly. If he had not been East African, you wouldn't even have covered this. You would not have even covered this. You would not have even covered this. Yeah, shout out to East Coast Kev. I forgot. Let me address that real quick. That you said. Yeah, that's why I call him Negro League. How you got Afro in your name, but you anti-African? Come on now. That's what I said. A bunch of these people were super pro-African, and then they switched over following behind Tariq. That's why a lot of these bozos still got Pharaoh in their name, Afro in their name, still got like Black Power names and all this other stuff because they all switched up. They all switched up. You got a bunch of bozos with Hebrew Israelite names, Islamic names, all these names that they all going against everything it stands for to follow behind Tariq. You can't make this up, man. You cannot make this up. They've been saying this for decades. Decades. They big dogs was the main ones pushing this. Man. Let's keep this going.
Well, if it wasn't purposely, why are you implying that he is an agent? Because that's not what the joke implied. The joke didn't imply that Dr. King was tricked into anything. The joke implied that Dr. King did it for money. All right.
There's some truth to that. The joke didn't, quote unquote, imply that he did it for money. But again, y'all original teaching was that he did do it to sell black people out. He was bought and paid for by them people, and he sold black people out. And then when he tried to, he felt bad, because again, that's the new teaching, that he felt bad about it, and he got tricked into doing it because he really didn't understand what he was doing, that he was selling black people out for that bag, or he didn't understand how bad it was going to be. That's when he changed course. Like, come on now. Come on.
Right. Then some more. Then this one. Unfortunately,
yeah, look, we got Drill Will in the building. He isn't he FBA? Drill Will, what you saying? Martin Luther King was a part of the Big Six. What did they call the Big Six? The Big Fix. The Big Six is the Big Fix. Remember when black people was gonna do the march on Washington on their own and block the airport and all that other stuff? What did they say? Them people had Martin Luther King do? Redirect the energy to and turn it into the March on Washington. Like he redirected the energy of the March on Washington to give the I Have a Dream speech. Isn't that the teachings? Am I getting something wrong? Am I getting something wrong? Shout out to Naps in the building. I still didn't find that video you said you sent me about somebody else. I only got the Satan the Sinner one. Can you resend it, please? Because I don't know what happened. I don't know why I'm not seeing it or whatever, but I was looking for it. So can you resend it, please? Thank you. Shout out to Naps. Make sure y'all go subscribe to his channel. Oh, shout out to Benevolent in the building. Thank you for coming through with the fire emoji. Shout out to the mistress in the building. And you're right. I'm not sure that they share any brain cells. See, this is why the FBA movement is just all just glazed. It's a cult now. They so inconsistent with they teachings, and they so filled with hate that even when they see a black immigrant pushing their teachings, they still gotta attack the black immigrant because they just see black immigrant and they gotta attack. They see black immigrant ancestry and they gotta attack. That's all they can do. Like, again, like I said, if this brother had turned out not to be East Indian and said this, Afro Negro Elite would not make this video. He would not be making this video. What you mean by that, Drill Will? That was his mission. Shout out to Dr. Crappy in the building. Yes, FBA slop. FBA xenophobic slop. You already know the receipts is coming. Shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to everybody in the building. Let me see. Oh, Garcia in the building. Shout out to Garcia in the building. Thank you for the fire emojis. Thank you for the fire emojis. Can't make this up. You cannot make this up. Yeah, let's keep this going. Nonsense.
It's true. It's really not as true as y'all want to believe. Okay, and we're going to get into why y'all believe that. Anyone or anything that these pale faces push, you should know that it's against that. Okay, general rule of thumb. That's why the saying is true, by the way. Okay, why would you peacefully put people who aren't peaceful to you, and you think, will anything change? Also, when they are beating our people with batons, police dogs, biting them in the ass, police would grab your boy, put his jacket and beat him and all that stuff. Okay, I get that. A lot of people didn't like that. Now, let me address some things. A lot of people didn't like Dr. King's peaceful marching and peaceful protesting and all of that. And a lot of people said that, you know what, I agree with Malcolm X on that. We should have been fighting back. Okay. Everybody can be a great Monday morning quarterback. Let's be very clear with that. However, there was a strategic reasoning, regardless of what you think is appropriate or not. I want you to understand the reasoning for it. You can agree or disagree. The reasoning for that.
Exactly. You can't make this up. Oh yeah, it's the B1 community. Yeah, it was back then called B1. B1, New Black Media. They always pushing this. Shout out to let me see, how do I pronounce this? A Dangback? Am I saying your name right? Is it A Dangback? Is it a? I think that's if I'm not mistaken. Ain't that like a tribe in Africa? A Dangback? A Dangback? Am I saying it right? I gotta look that up. I'm pretty sure that's a tribe in Africa, and I'm saying it wrong. But shout out to you. Yes, B1 community. Dangby? That's how you pronounce it? Shout out to President Jafar in the building. I said D1. I'm thinking about football. Football season about to start. You know, I bang with college football. Yeah, B1. A Dangback. A Dangback. A Dangback. Am I saying it right now? A Dangback. A Dangback. Hopefully I'm saying it right. Shout out to President Jafar in the building. Thank you for your help. Shout out to Calm Drop in the building too. All right, so you saying it's a Dangback too. So hopefully I'm saying it right. I'm gonna look it up after the stream. But apologies for if I'm saying it, if I was saying it wrong. Yeah, let's keep this going.
Is to change the image of society and the perception of society, because the dominant society years before had been doing what? The dominant society for years beforehand have been putting out propaganda and narratives with the Ku Klux Klan and their movies and everything.
Oh, so you saying the civil rights movement was set up that way to let black people get beaten and stuff like that to change the image of how white people saw us? To say, look, the Ku Klux Klan said we bad. They've been telling y'all, they trick y'all good white people. They said that we bad, but we not really bad. Look, if we was really bad and we was really violent, would we let ourselves be beaten like this? Shout out to Romario in the building. Like, you can't say, you can't make this up. Oh, you said, like I'm opening my mouth. All right. Dang back. Dang bay. I'm gonna look it up. Trust me, I'm gonna find out. Dang bay. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. Shout out to the shout out to everybody helping me get this name right.
That black people were inherently violent, had a proclivity to violence, to crime, to all of this, were uneducated, were degenerates, right? And that was the social perception of black people in general. Okay, even Frederick Douglass had pushed against this. So this was a big thing to push against the image, period. All right. Before, and that wasn't even the first civil rights movement. This is why it's important to learn history. Before, with other civil rights movements, the narrative had always been framed as violent black people who, for no reason, are attacking innocent white people, especially white females. That was the narrative before. And they had used that narrative to create enough, I guess, enough image, or to degrade the image enough to rationalize their violence towards the community. That's what they did with Black Wall Street. Remember, Black Wall Street was attacked allegedly because a black guy was doing something. They claim he assaulted some white girl in an elevator. Okay,
that's not why Black Wall Street was attacked. That was what happened was that, yes, somebody claimed that, no matter of fact, I don't even think they even claimed originally that the black guy did something to the white girl in the elevator. I said that there was a black guy and a white girl on the elevator together. And that was enough to get somebody killed. What started the race riot was black men went down there to try to make sure that he got a fair trial and that they didn't just lynch him. And when they got down there, it was like 2,000, 3,000 white people down there. Then the white people started something. It started getting crazy. Then a shooting started happening. Shootout happened. A white guy got killed, and then there you go. There you go. That's another thing about the bozo. What's his name? Jason Black used to say that, oh, the people of Black Wall Street, they had every type of shop but the gun shop. And if they had the gun shop, they'd still be there. No, they had the gun shop. They just was outnumbered, and the government was helping them. And they was bombing the people from the air. The police was helping them. The government was helping them. Everybody. They was outnumbered. Shout out to East Coast Kev for coming through with the 10. Exactly. Thank you for letting that be known. I got to also make sure I always let that be known. FBA is a hate cult. It is not a people or a lineage. It's a hate cult and a white nationalist psyop. Do not refer to anybody black as FBA. If an African American is not claiming FBA or black American, whatever, is not claiming FBA, do not call them FBA. And don't allow people who don't call themselves FBA to be called FBA. Remember, the power is in the compliance. They're trying to normalize the term FBA and trying to make it an ethnic term, which is not. Remember, it's an own term. Like Tariq owns the term. If you FBA, Tariq owns you. He's the boss. He owns that. Yeah, this is Tariq's baby right here. This is one of Tariq wannabe babies. Yes, that's Black Wall Street. Yeah, Black Wall Street was like 100 years ago. Make sure y'all shouting out East Coast Kev, man.
Okay, so all of their attacks were rationalized by black people, in particular black men going out and attacking white people, in particular white women. All right, so that was the narrative. In order for society to shift, okay, and the perception of them being morally right and justified, not only in America, but in the world stage, to change, that you would have to have changed the image and perception of the Black community, which is why Dr. King preached about being peaceful and not starting violence. Okay. People make it seem like Dr. King was more pacifist than he actually really was, to be honest, too. Dr. King he didn't preach getting beat to death under the guise of nonviolence. That necessarily wasn't his thing. However, his thing was not to initiate or preach that. He wasn't near.
Again, I'm not getting it. You're not refuting nothing that was said in that video. We about to get off this. You doing a whole bunch of babbling. You babbling hard. That's what you're doing. You babbling real hard. You're babbling real hard. Shout out to Carlton for coming through with the 200 gems. Much appreciated. Sunshine, yes. That was a ray of sunshine from this nonsense. Thank you for coming through with the 200 gems. Much appreciated. Like, you can't make this up, man. You can't make this up. This is like you just babbling right now. What are you saying right now that's refuting anything that was played in that clip or any other people that was arguing you down in that comment section? What are you saying? The only reason you did this is because you clout chasing and the brother you claim is East African. That's the only reason you did this. Only reason. You're a total bozo and a dweeb. Shout out to Romario for coming through with the 20. Much appreciated. Make sure y'all shout out Romario. He came through with 20. Exactly, Romario. Like, remember, that's why I disrespect FBA so much. They was willing, they helped throw away all that suffering that we went through during the civil rights movement. They helped throw it all away. Remember, like I said, the civil rights movement represented what? 100 years of struggle, and it represented 50 years of progress. 60 years. That's why I said 160 years went out the window. With Trump winning the second term, even getting that first term, put us on a pathway back to Jim Crow 2.0. But him getting this second term, we in Jim Crow 2.0. All that pain, all that suffering, all that work, these bozos threw it away. They threw it all away. Now you acting like you defending his legacy when you threw away all the civil rights gains? All the civil rights gains that people worked, got beat for, got killed for, went to jail for, all that work went down the drain with y'all bozos. And now you acting like you some type of big time defender of it? Get out of my face with that. Again, shout out to Romario. Make sure y'all shouting out everybody coming through. We halfway to the goal, family. Much appreciated, Romario, for coming through. We halfway to the goal.
Really as pacifist as people try to make him out to be. All right. But the image is that when you see Black people who are peacefully protesting, which is their amendment, where they have a First Amendment right to peacefully protest, and them being sprayed by water hose or attacked by dogs, the optics of that is going to change the perception of Black people and their cause in general. That was the strategy and idea. And despite you agreeing or disagreeing with that, ultimately it did work. At the end of the day, you could dislike that. You can have whatever criticisms you want to have for that, but ultimately it did succeed. It did work. All right. My issue, though, is that whether you want to say he went too far with I have a dream that white kids and Black kids can work together, we can agree on. Even Dr. King agreed on that he went too far with that. That was too optimistic and that wasn't realistic. He agreed that he went too far, and he tried to pivot away from that and away into a more Black American reparation-centered movement.
What did I say? I told you, I know these people like the back of my hand. I already knew what you was gonna say. Now you're basically agreeing with everything that brother said in that video previously. Only thing you're saying now is that, oh, he got tricked. Or you're not even saying he got tricked. You're just saying that he was just too optimistic. So I guess that's the new line. It went from he was an agent to he was a useful idiot to he got tricked to now he was just too optimistic. I guess that's the new line. MLK integrated us into a burning house by mistake just because he was just too optimistic. And then he tried to change course. And then that's when they killed him. So I guess that's the new line. MLK was just too optimistic. Got it.
All right. Which nobody wants to talk about. Nobody likes to bring up. But the dominant society has created this whitewashed version of Dr. King. All right. We have to understand that. And when we allow immigrants such as him to come up there and then to try to imply that our ancestors was an agent against us is something we should not at all tolerate. At all. Before anybody criticizes Dr. King, period. And I don't think that anybody should there should be a point where somebody reaches where they can completely be uncriticized. Okay, everybody can be criticized. However, before you do, I need you to ask, is the person criticizing Dr. King doing half as much as Dr. King did? Before you listen to a criticism.
We should also, I like that standard, and we should apply that standard to FBA. Is FBA doing half the work of Black immigrants are doing right now in America to push the Black community forward? Is the FBA delineators doing half the work for the Black community that Black immigrants are doing, or any Black immigrant y'all call out in particular? Inquiring minds want to know. Matter of fact, that's a good point. That's a good point to segue on. Watch this, family. Y'all gotta see this. Shout out to everybody in the building. I found one of my old videos. I gotta show you this. I gotta show this. Let me see. Let me play this a little bit. I don't know. Type this. It hurt. This hurt bad. DV. Oh, that's the video right here. One of the Tariq Nasheed's biggest glazes on Twitter was claiming that Tariq Nasheed did more for the Black community than John Lewis. Look how they disrespect the civil rights movement. You can't disrespect John Lewis without disrespecting Martin Luther King. It don't work like that. What Obama called him? Martin Luther King's first disciple? Like, come on now. It don't work like that. You can't do it. You can't do it. That's like disrespecting. Matter of fact, I'm not even gonna go there with that. I don't even think I could even go there with that. But yeah, this just doesn't make any sense. And another person, shout out to Obama. Y'all haven't done half of what Obama has done. So I think y'all should stop disrespecting or criticizing Barack Obama. Just copying off of Afro think tank and what he said. Let's get into this. D-Man. And they talking about he's a legend. I didn't even watch the video.
When you create a film series from scratch without corporate money, where 7 of them went to #1, became bestsellers, and are taught in schools around the world, come back and talk to me.
1, you didn't do it by yourself. You got the people paid for it. The people paid for it, and then you sold it back to them, and they paid for it again. That's 1. 2, nobody's teaching Hidden Colors anywhere. And if you're at a school and they're teaching Hidden Colors or anything that Tariq put out, throw that shit in the garbage. I'm gonna get your kid out that school. 3, you contradict yourself because in Hidden Colors 3, y'all was burning the American flag. Now you rocking the American flag. That's a contradiction. Like all them DVDs contradict themselves, and a lot of them was bullshit, and the information in them. But come on now. Like, let's be serious. Let's see something else.
Out there stomping in Missouri. That was the real lifeblood of Black Lives Matter when the race soldiers killed sister by passing out a fucking cup. People should have been tripping over it. I was offended. When they needed their rent paid, it was this player who did that. When the legendary Dr. Francis Crest right here, then legendary Dr. Francis.
So, okay, I got the gist of it. He's just bragging about people he gave money to. How is that doing anything for the black community? Like, no harm intended, no subliminal disses. He said something about giving money to Dr. Ben, Darren Seals, and Francis Cresswell shit, and paying other people rent. How is that doing more for black people than John Lewis? John Lewis, who got us the Civil Rights Act, the Voting Rights Act. John Lewis, who was a congressman for like, how many years was he? For like almost, let me see, over 20 years. No. I don't think it was for over 20 years. I don't remember. But he was a congressman for a very long time. How is that less than this nigga making DVDs and using some of the proceeds to help people out who helped him make the DVDs, or people he was going to use to help him make DVDs? I don't get it. And he got that wrong. Darren Seals did not start Black Lives Matter. He was not the real lifeblood of Black Lives Matter. That's a lie that you niggas tell people because
In fact, I gotta fast forward this. Shout out to everybody in the building.
Lesbians in Atlanta. Nobody was pumping that, saying he was Black Lives Matter. It's just the hashtag. It's not a group. It's like this shit.
Oh, yeah, this ain't the right video. Sorry for that, family. Sorry for that. This ain't the right video. But what I was trying to say, what I was trying to show, I think I got deleted because yeah, Tariq flagged down a bunch of my videos. No, John Lewis is not alive anymore. He passed away, and Tariq and them made fun of him when he passed away. They roasted him. They disrespected him. They went in on him. Shout out to Purcell in the building. Yes, Tariq is not an educator. He's a damn liar. He's a total bozo and a dweeb. Total bozo and a dweeb. But yeah, let's let this bozo, this other bozo, his baby, finish up.
Okay. Now, some criticisms are in good faith. Some people can't state their disagreements. But before people go, oh, he shouldn't have did this, he shouldn't did this, he shouldn't did this. Have they done half, not even more than that, half of what Dr. King did? Have they sacrificed half of what Dr. King sacrificed? Are they willing to do that before they have all of this to say about him? And that's where I have to say. Okay, so keep your comments respectful. And you, as an immigrant, I know for a fact you ain't did nothing at all but make unfunny jokes off of the benefit that Dr. King had sacrificed. He was assassinated by the United States government, and that movement, which caused him to be assassinated, your family got to benefit from. This is why I don't tolerate at all these tethers coming over here saying nothing. Okay, because all of the blood, sweat, and tears that went into the civil rights movement and even the movements before, everything before, they are able to come here with a clean slate and start over. They have no authority to criticize anything. I don't care if Dr. King was dead wrong. Who are you to say anything? Now,
exactly. I'm happy you saying this. You're exposing yourself. You're exposing yourself. There we go. He's exposing himself. Like I said, he can't even come out, storm down and say that what the brother said in that video was 110% wrong. And who is he? And why would he push that lie? I could, because again, I never taught that. I don't believe that he was some agent or he misled black people or anything like that. Shout out to Lee in the building. Lee, I just saw your email. I will definitely try to get to that tomorrow. Good night. See you later. But yeah. Matter of fact, I might not be able to get to it tonight. I mean tomorrow, because I'm doing the Q&A tomorrow. But yeah, you couldn't even disagree with him. You just clutching your pearls like, all right, so what? You was like 90% right about what you said about Martin Luther King. You don't get to say it because you're an immigrant. You don't get to say it because you're an immigrant.
Might be able to say something. My mama, my daddy, my cousins, my brothers, my sisters, we might be able to say something. But who are you as a foreigner? What do you have anything to say? Who is your Dr. King? While you want to criticize ours, who is yours? You don't have one. That's right. Nobody else has one. Nobody. And everybody's benefiting from our Dr. King while they got all this to say. That's my problem. That's where I draw the line. I'm not letting nobody, because we can't criticize your Dr. King. You don't have one. You don't have half. You don't have half a Dr.
Again, he's flippant. He's not actually addressing anything. He's just saying, how dare you? How dare you? How dare you? Matter of fact, since we talking about that,
We gonna use your standard. Keep it going. Keep it going.
King we have before you start running your mouth that somebody was an agent. Who do you don't have a Dr. King, you don't have a Coretta Scott King, you don't have a Malcolm X, you don't have a Rosa Parks, a Ida B. Wells, a Harriet Tubman, a Nat Turner.
Oh. Why you mentioning Malcolm X? But anyway, yeah, let's go to this real quick. I think I found the receipt. I didn't watch this. Let's see. Let's go. Wait, talking about the audio drop. Audio drop. Sorry. Audio drop. Audio drop. Yeah, let's get back to this. We're going to get right back to this. Shout out to everybody in the building. We're getting right back to this. Oh, shout out to Justin March for coming through with the 2. Whole lot of ones beat a whole lot of nuns any day of the week. Unity. You already know. That's all we push is unity. That's why I go hard on the FBA. I'm all about unity. That's it. That's all I'm about. I like that name, but I'll call him Negro Delete, not Afro Delete. He don't even get to call himself Afro. But yeah, let's keep this going. Let's keep this going. Let's see what Dave Bozo, the big homie, got to say about John Lewis. Like we just heard the standard he put out. He said you can't criticize people who you haven't done half as much of. Let's see if he keep that energy with Tariq Nasheed.
That's who they say is a damn civil rights icon. Any black person who didn't fight back, who was talking that nonviolent bullshit, that's a civil rights icon. There was another Negro who died a couple of days ago, right before John Lewis. What's his name? They were, again, calling him a civil rights icon. Any Negro who just kind of went along with the program and didn't really fight back, that's an icon. Now, the black folks who fought back and the ones who weren't talking about being nonviolent, notice they don't never refer to them as no damn icon. Let me just... Stokely Carmichael. Let's go to him. Stokely was right there with Dr. King. This is our brother, Stokely Carmichael. Stokely Carmichael was heavy in the civil rights movement. They never, ever, ever refer to this brother right here, Stokely Carmichael, who's right next to Dr. King. They never refer to him as a...
Oh, this video must be really old. This must be pre-FBA days. Look at him. He's shouting out Kwame Ture. This must be pre-FBA. I'm happy I found this clip. I just typed in Tariq Nasheed, John Lewis, and this came up. So I just clicked it. This must be pre-FBA.
Civil rights icon. You know why? Because Stokely Carmichael was about the damn business. He was about picking up a gun and protecting yourself. He wasn't on that nonviolent bullshit. Yeah, C.T. Vivian. Yeah, that's his name. Yeah, Stokely. Yeah, he changed his name to Kwame Ture. But yeah, he actually coined the phrase Black Power. Stokely was a rider. They don't like to mention him. Malcolm X was a civil rights icon. They always portray Malcolm X as some kind of outlier, like he was just some kind of radical.
Oh, this is definitely way pre-FBA. I'm happy I covered this today. See, this is proving my point. Look at God, bro. This is proving my point. Everything I said that they used to teach, this is Tariq teaching it right now. He teaching it right now. He is teaching it right now. You notice all the people he's shouting out as riders is all the black immigrants who is now the enemies. And all the people he say misled the black community are all black Americans. Because I forgot who the person who died that he's talking about right now. Matter of fact, I think this is no, it's not Elijah Clemens. It was somebody else. You hear what he's saying, right? You hear what he's saying. I'm so happy I saw this. I'm so happy. Shout out to Ogo in the building. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Oh, shout out to McKinsley for coming through with the Canadian 5. Of course they do. Of course that's what FBA does. But look, that's what they teach now because they're part of the hate code. Look, this clip I'm playing right now, I think this is pre-FBA. Look at what Tariq is doing. Look at all the black people he's shouting out. They're either black immigrants or they got black immigrant ancestry. All the people he's shouting out, giving props to, bigging up. Look who he's shouting out. That's why I said FBA is that unprincipled, bro. Like, how could you follow Tariq after he did a complete 180 like this? He did a complete 180 like this. Yeah, let's keep this going.
The Black Panthers were civil rights icons, but they were talking about defending the community. You dig? Black folks who weren't talking about being nonviolent, they're never referred to as the icons of the civil rights movement. Always these bootlicking Negroes. Yeah? But see, when it comes to defending ourselves, H. Rap Brown, again, yeah, Fred Hampton, they don't look at them as icons. But Negroes who sat up here talking about we're going to get our ass whooped and we're going to thank the police who did it, that's what they want. And boy, they had John Lewis good and buck broken. Because look, not only when you bring up the fact that John Lewis didn't do anything for Black people, niggas start trying to hem and haw and then try to point to some secondary gains, which don't mean anything. Not only did John Lewis not do anything for Black people, I challenge you to find a time when John Lewis actually said Black people. I challenge you to find a time when John Lewis even spoke for Black people. Forget about doing. We know that's just too easy. Look, we won't even waste time. I want to see when John Lewis has ever spoke about Black people specifically. I can't find a time when he actually spoke about Black people in his career. I challenge you to find that of John Lewis actually speaking, forget about doing, just speaking about issues specifically pertaining to Black people. Because remember, every time John Lewis talks about racism, he talks about it in a very abstract way. What we have to do is fight discrimination. When you see wrongdoing, say something. We got to vote for civil rights. It's always vague and abstract. He don't really specifically talk about white supremacy, and he damn sure don't say shit about Black folks.
Y'all hear this, right? See, I don't want to ever hear nobody ever saying that I'm making anything up, because I think I had this clip on my channel too, but Tariq flagged it down. But I'm happy it's up right here. Shout out to Reg 83NY for coming through with the 5. Much appreciated. Make sure y'all shouting out the brother Reg for coming through. Shout out to you, Reg, for coming through with the 5. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Got me one step closer to the goal. One step closer to the goal. Much appreciated. Let's keep this going.
He don't really tell you why he got his ass whooped in Selma. I was in Selma fighting against injustice, and they beat me. Okay, who beat you, nigga? You know, he don't go into that. It's just like some ghost beat his ass or something. He dare not speak its name. You know? Y'all, that people of color, people gotta fight the underprivileged. The underprivileged people's gotta fight. We gotta fight for justice. We got to get in good trouble. What's all this vague ass talking he doing? He's always done that. He's always talked about doing this and doing that for other groups. And I played the clip before where they interviewed him like in the 70s, I think. And he was talking about SNCC because he was clicked in with SNCC and Kwame Ture and all those people. And now John Lewis will put the cape on for everybody. But when Kwame Ture started talking about Black Power, John Lewis was like, I didn't think that was the direction we needed to go. Now, the minute you say something about Black Power, that nigga done tapped out. So white society, they parade at this Negro.
Oh, you see the disrespect to John Lewis? I wonder if Afro, Negro Delete gonna say anything about this. Shout out to Kevin, aka Mr. K, for coming through with the 5 British pounds. Much appreciated. Shout out to you for coming through with the pounds. Yes, of course. We know this. That's why I said all these people who always say this stuff. That's why I said you can't be intelligent and be FBA. It's not possible. It's not possible to be intelligent and follow FBA. Because if you actually knew Black history in America, you wouldn't be following them. Look at what Tariq is saying right now. Matter of fact, you wouldn't be principled to follow them if you ever followed Tariq. Because according to Tariq right now, all those people that they bigging up now were bad. And all the people they attacking now are were good. Complete 180. Complete 180. Shout out to Kevin, y'all. Make sure y'all shouting out Kevin. He helped me get closer to my goal. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Thank you. Thank you. Let's keep it going.
Around fake love, like, oh, this is who you need to aspire to be. He's a civil rights giant. I mean, the white supremacists are very extra with the lies they put, and that lets you know that they're lying because they put so much extras on it. I mean, this guy is a civil rights giant. I mean, he's a civil rights great. What did he do so great? Well, he took a beating with dignity. That's what they want. They want you to get your ass whooped with dignity. And that's why they parade him around all over the place. Do y'all know there was, let me play this clip. They had his ass in a cartoon. He was in a cartoon, the Arthur cartoon, because y'all know they would have him on all these award shows and all the, I mean, John Lewis has been a one-trick pony his whole career. Everything is about him getting his ass whooped, him being at the March on Washington and all that. And again, them being at the March on Washington, they were getting money from the Kennedy Foundation. They were told not to challenge the status quo. They were told early on to be on that vague shit. So, yes, he was on the Arthur cartoon. Did y'all see that? They had him as a character on Arthur. Nigga. Hold on. Where's that?
Again, look, like, I'm happy I found this. So nobody can say I'm lying. I don't know what I'm talking about. Nobody can say I'm lying. Shout out Ogo for coming through with the 199. Whole lot of ones with a whole lot of nuns. Make sure y'all saluting Ogo. He helping me get closer to my goal. Everybody who donated helping me get closer to my goal. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Thank you. Thank you. And you know I'm going to stay on their neck. I'm going to stay on their neck all day long. I'm so happy about this. I'm so happy about this. Who on a third burner account? Her mistress. Tether into the chat. Oh, it's an FBA bozo who keep coming in here with different accounts. All right, cool. Oh, I think I found them right here. It says Latinos for Crawford. That's him? I think that's him. Let me ban this person. You're banned. Now let's get back to Tariq.
They had him as a character on the Arthur cartoon. They had him, I don't know what he was supposed to be. What kind of animal he's supposed to be? Hold on.
Going to need a guarantee.
Hold on.
Excuse me, ma'am. Do you know where I might find a Miss Liv McGrady?
Congressman Lewis. John, you old troublemaker. Get over here.
Melissa McGrady, you haven't changed a bit since the March on Washington.
Lord God, give me a knife. I just can't do it no more. Oh God, I can't do it no more, man. I just can't. Just give me a knife. Oh no. Boy, they gonna milk Washington. I swear to God, they got this motherfucker on a cartoon talking about the March on fucking Washington, man. God damn. This is about the one-trick pony ass dude ever seen in my life. God damn, man. Hold on. All right.
Melissa McGrady, you haven't changed a bit since the March on Washington.
You're Congressman Lewis?
So they keep telling me. Nice to see you again. Are we having a sit-in? How come no one called me?
Oh Lord, they're having a sit-in like that at the Woolworth counter.
You have your guarantee. I'll write to the school board first thing tomorrow morning. Maybe you'd like to help me write the letter.
Sure, I'd love to.
Think you're gonna have nightmares again tonight?
Nope.
Me neither. There's nothing more important than following your conscience. If you can do that, you're always going to sleep well.
Oh God. I wonder how many takes they had to do with this motherfucker. Oh, I bet they had to do a whole gang of takes with this nigga mush mouth. Lord God, give me a knife. Oh, they got him on cartoons.
Like, imagine making fun of John Lewis. He's, matter of fact, he's old here in that cartoon. He's not only old, he's old. He was beaten. Like, they cracked his skull. Like, he got his skull cracked at Selma. Imagine making fun of a old person who put it all on the line. He could have died. Remember, he joined the civil rights movement when he was like, what, 15, 16 years old? He ran away from home to join the civil rights movement. He was not only a minor, he almost died several times, and he could have died. He watched other people die all around him, and he's still putting in work. He put in work for black people to his dying day, and this bozo is disrespecting him. This is their big homie. This is why I never respected Tariq. Never. I could never, like, after I found out that he was doing stuff like this, because when I first found out about Tariq, I thought he was just like a pro-black person. So I'm like, all right, cool, rocking with him. He good. Then when he started doing stuff like this, I could never respect him. Could never respect him. Imagine doing this. And mind you, he got a Marion Barry shirt on. And like Tariq celebrates Marion Barry because he got he was the mayor of Washington, D.C., and he got caught smoking crack. That's why Tariq celebrates him. But look at this. Imagine this. Imagine disrespecting an actual icon, an actual legend who put it all on the line for black people his whole life. His whole life. His whole life. Exactly. John Lewis was a founding member of SNCC. Oh, shout out to Eric Williams for coming through with the 440 gems. Much appreciated. I got an Unk alert. I guess I'm Unk. I'll take it. I'll take it. Make sure y'all shouting out everybody supporting this stream, man. I appreciate all the love. I don't even know what the gifts are, but I'll take them. They do something for the stream, so I'll take them. So make sure y'all keep sending them if y'all can. Much appreciated. Let's keep it going. Let's get back to this disgusting nonsense.
I'm surprised they didn't have him on SpongeBob. SpongeBob lived in Bikini Bottom. And speaking of bottoms, I got my bottom beat in Selma. Lord. Oh, God. So when a Negro is buck broken, family, they'll parade him all around.
So now he bug broken.
When a nigga is buck broken, or they parade him and try to make him this big hero. Oh, God. Lord.
He is a big hero. He's a hero. He has done more just with the in 1 year of being a part of the civil rights movement than the whole FBA ever did combined. This was disgusting. This was painful to watch. This was disgusting. To watch this man talk down on a legend like John Lewis and other people in the civil rights movement. Because again, this clip was cut. He was not just disrespecting John Lewis in this clip. Shout out to Madison for coming through with the 199. A whole lot of ones beat a whole lot of nuns. Thank you, Madison. You just got me one step closer to my goal. We almost there, family. I think we like 4 away. Let's see if we can make that happen. Much appreciated. Make sure y'all shouting out Madison for coming through with the 199. But yeah, let's let this bozo finish up. I'm gonna let him talk, maybe give him another 5 minutes, and then we off that. We off this. Here we go. Shout out to everybody in the building.
Who do you have See, that's the thing that I find not fair. We don't got nobody to criticize on your part because y'all don't do nothing but come over here and benefit off of what our ancestors have done before you run your mouth and to say something that's incorrect. Even if it was correct, that's not your place. Stay in the child's place, as my parents used to tell me. This is an adult conversation and you need to stay in the child's place. Well, you need to stay in a foreigner's place. That's what I got to say. Stay in a foreigner's place. Don't come over here saying nothing. This ain't your conversation. Okay? You and your people don't have enough points on the board to criticize the coach. Okay? Y'all want to criticize the MVP and y'all don't got no points on the board. Y'all don't got no points. Y'all don't got no rebounds. Y'all don't got no steals. Y'all don't got no assists. Y'all don't got no points on the board. Been sitting on the bench until the fourth quarter. Okay. Then want to come up and talk.
The funny part is FBA don't got no points on the board. They got no points on the board. And again, that brother was saying in the video is y'all teachings. How do we know he didn't get that from you? This is another thing. When they try to do this performative attack black immigrants, look what they saying about black people stuff. I always say this. How do we know that black, quote unquote, black immigrant isn't saying that because he learned that from you? How do we know he didn't learn that from you? That's y'all teachings. Y'all taught that for decades. How do we know he didn't learn that from you? Again, he's still saying, oh, whether you was right or wrong, it don't matter. To stay in a foreigner place. See, you can't even come out and just say he was wrong because you know that's y'all teaching. That's y'all teaching. And yes, Tariq got chased out by a bunch of Mexicans. He ain't staying on business. He ran away. We already did that video. Matter of fact, we could do it. I think I got some more of those videos saved. Some of them got deleted. But yeah, definitely ran. Like, come on now. Shout out to Helen for coming through with the two with the €2. Much appreciated. Whole lot of ones beat a whole lot of nuns any day of the week. You just got me closer to the goal. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Much. Oh wait, I seen something. Shout out to Purcell because she hit the Cash App. Shout out to Purcell for hitting the Cash App. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Purcell, please drop a comment so we can make sure people see you and can honor you if you want to. It's up to you. It's up to you. But yeah, let's get back to this bozo talking about somebody else got to stay in a child's place, stay in a foreigner place.
About the MVP. You don't got nothing to say to the MVP. We the MVPs. Okay? We the star players. We the starting five. And we've been in every quarter of the game. We got all the points on the board, and then you want to come up and criticize. Get back on that bench. That's what I gotta say. That's 100% how I feel about it. I'm not letting no bench sitter come criticize the MVP at all. At all. I'm very, very serious about that. I'm very serious about that. Y'all have no room to talk about anything. All right. That brings me to another immigrant.
All right, we off this. Shout out to everybody in the building. We off this. Maybe we'll continue covering it another time. As y'all can see, make sure y'all shouting out pre-sale. She hit the Cash App. Like I said, family, check the pin comment. You can hit the Cash App, the PayPal, or the Venmo. You hit it. Let me know if you want a shout out from there. Let me know if you wrote something. Because again, some people want to donate, but they don't want the amount being saw. Or they want to get it directly to me. Or they want they just don't want to, they don't want no shout out. They don't want the shout out to be for their name. And that's all good. That's what it's there for. Just send it, let me know what you want from it, and I'm gonna do that. Shout out to Purcell for coming through with the 5. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. But yeah, shout out to East Coast Kev. I don't know if he's still in the building, but we're gonna do this real quick. This is East Coast Kev right here. East Coast Kev sent me this. This is about Officer Brandon. The bozo, Officer Brandon Tatum, basically interviewing one of the brother who passed away tragically, Noel Wells, one of his friends. And I think this is the video where he said black people was better off as slaves. I don't know. This is shout out to the bro Dreamers Pro. This is his political channel. I think it's called Charles and it got his last name. I don't remember too much, but yeah, let's get into this. Shout out to him. I'm liking it off the rip. Make sure you go subscribe to his channel.
Hey, what's up, everyone? I want to welcome you guys to another episode of Here's What I Think with your host, Charles Stabanci. All right, let's get into this.
Oh, yeah, see, his name is Charles. I ain't hit his last name, though, too good, but yeah, his name is Charles. Shout out to G-Rich Pro. He always do some good stuff, but you know, he be going hard on LeBron, and you know I love LeBron. I love LeBron. Oh, shout out to Reg for coming through with the 5. Much appreciated. Thank you. Helping me get to the goal. Much appreciated. Thank you for the double up. Make sure y'all shouting out Reg, man. He came through. He came through.
This topic here. So there was a video that I saw today on Instagram that was liked by D.L. Hughley, because I follow D.L. Hughley on IG. And the video was from the gentleman, the Peter Gold. That's the name of his page. And he was going off on Officer Tatum, on Brandon Tatum, right? So I saw that D.L. Hughley had liked the post. So then the thought just occurred to me, well, let me see if D.L. Hughley actually said anything about this guy here, right? So I then went to his own page. And as it turns out, he did. And we're going to play, we're going to do it. But what we'll do first is we'll play the interview of Officer Tatum sitting down with Warren Hudson, who was one of the friends, allegedly, of Nolan Wells. Take a look at what the interview was. Take a look at it here.
Everybody. Before we start that, I want to shout out Monty Burner for coming through with the 250 gems. You already know I'm the MVP. Thank you. Thank you. Much appreciated. Make sure y'all shouting out Monty Burner for coming through with that gift. Much appreciated. I'll take all the gifts. Take them all. Let's keep it going.
He's drinking, you know, I mean, it's 4th of July. Everyone's just trying to enjoy themselves. And, you know, it's a big party, basically. Big party.
Yeah, so y'all pretty much having a good time. Just like anybody would imagine, 18-year-olds, probably 20-year-olds, college students, out on the island, women, you probably had alcohol. So y'all having a good time.
Yeah, of course.
And so where's Nolan in this? You know, you guys out there, the friend groups are out there, 3 boats full of people that came out there that seem to be the closest friend group.
Right.
Where's Nolan in this in comparison to where you and others are at?
Well, you know, I had a couple conversations with Nolan that day, and I talked to him and a couple of my other buddies. They are in a group. I was not focused on anyone solely, like looking and pointing anyone out, because there's so many people out there. I mean, I was talking to my friends that I haven't seen in a while from high school. I was talking from people I knew from college. I was talking to, you know, everybody my age, and even people older than us were, you know, over there. Like, I mean, it was just a regular thing. You know, we're all used to this. We've been out to the islands before. My buddies don't just go out to the island on 4th of July, but they go out, you know, every weekend. Like, I fish the islands. I don't just, you know, fish around Horn Island. I fish around Ship Island too. So I'm very familiar with the islands. And I feel like it was just a big, I talked to Nolan, and, you know, Nolan was drinking. Everybody was drinking, most of everybody. And I mean, Nolan seemed completely fine every time I talked to him. We had just regular conversations, and, you know, Nolan was making me laugh. I had a couple conversations with Nolan and Javon, Nolan and my buddy James, Nolan. And I mean, I could tell you, I mean, I talked to Nolan a couple times, but it wasn't like I was strictly sitting there talking to Nolan the whole day. I mean, there was hundreds of people I knew out there. So,
yeah.
So then,
so I guess that's why Officer Tatum even invited him on. Like, again, you invited the white friend on to say that everything was fine, everything was hunky dory. This is just a tragic accident. That's what I'm getting from this. Total clown and bozo. Ain't that the dude who got spit on in Israel? Isn't Officer Tatum the one who got spit on in Israel and had the weird well?
D.L. Hughley then wrote in response to this clip. He said this: the fact that the first interview this young man has given, Warren Hudson, Judge Ashley Cole's son, is this super COON ultra mega boot sucking self-hating clown. Officer Tatum tells you everything you need to know. It then goes on. He added a college kid. New York Post reports Nolan Wells' self-described best friend, who was on the fateful 4th of July boat trip with him before he went missing, has spoken out for the first time about rumors blaming him for the tragic teen's death. Warren Wells, who's 18, vanished during the visit on Horn Island, 10 miles off Mississippi's Gulf Coast, and was found dead 2 days later. Questions from Wells' parents and online amateur sleuths have dodged the team's football stars' pals about why they left him behind and why they were allegedly in possession of his phone and keys. Speaking for the first time since Wells' death, Warren Hudson, who was amongst those on the boat trip with him, exclusively told the Post about the hurtful claims that he was responsible for his friend's death. It's a sick world we're living in, he said. It's terrible. Nolan was my best friend. There's no facts out, just a lot of rumors. That's just how the internet is today. That's really it. It's horrible. Hudson's mom, Ashley Cole, said in a statement released on July 7 that Wells' friends returned to the mainland after their boat had a problem with its blige pump or whatever. Nolan made a decision to stay on the island and return inland later with another group of friends, she wrote. Cole, a judge in Jackson County, denied claims that her family had been trying to hamper the investigation and said her son had been interviewed by cops and cooperated fully. So let me tell you why Tatum did this. Tatum is very calculated, as are a lot of these COONS. He knows that blacks are going to be very, very upset looking at a situation like this. So Tatum says to himself, you know what? Just for me to virtue signal some more, just for me to lay down on the floor and bow down to my masters, let me go do the interview where I'm a black man. So it sends the image of not all black people think there's foul play here. This is all it is. Grifting isn't complicated. It's not complicated at all. This is all optics. So he's doing that to make them feel like, oh no, you see, there's certain blacks that don't feel like there was any foul play here. That's why he did it. And DL is calling it out. But guess what? Tatum doesn't care.
Yes, that's exactly why he did it. Like he's teaching. Shout out to Charles. He's teaching. Shout out to East Coast Kev for sending me this. Because I was looking for a way to cover this. I didn't know how I was going to cover it. But again, shout out to East Coast Kev for sending this. Oh, shout out to Flavor Genuine in the building. Much appreciated, bro, for all your support. He renewed his own membership. Family, go hit that join button. Get your own membership. Let's keep it going. Oh, salute to Frank Rice, a member of the channel. I never seen you commenting before, but you remember the channel, so salute. Happy to see you. Yes, Afro Negro Delete is an imbecile. Let's keep it going.
Do you know why he doesn't care? Because it makes him money. For some people, that's all that matters in life. How much money you can make. And even if it means selling your soul or selling your ass or selling out your people, it doesn't matter. As long as it makes dollars, it makes sense. That's all. And that's why he's doing this. Recently, Ryan Clark got fired from ESPN. Right? And a lot of people didn't like him because he was very, political, liberal or whatever. And guess what happened? The report was that they're doing some of this cord cutting to free up some money to be able to pay Pat McAfee in the ballpark of $60 million a year. So guess what Jason Whitlock did? He did a show basically saying that, and he's putting up Pat McAfee, basically to show that the white man has the power at ESPN, not the black man. The white man is the smart one. The white man is the one with the great show. That's what he's doing, because that's what he has to do to stay afloat with his audience. And they can't stray away. Even if they feel differently privately, they can never say it publicly. Do you know how I know this? Recently, Whitlock went on his channel and started chastising Caitlin Clark. How she sets a bad example for young women and blah, blah, blah. You go watch that video and read the comments and see what his own viewers are saying about him. I thought Whitlock was smart. It's clear that he's stupid. His own audience members. So people like this can't stray away from the tree. They can't go too far away from the roots of what they are. And that's what DL is saying here. But unfortunately, it doesn't matter because they're not going to stop. And if anything, this shows them that they're doing the right thing because they're profiting off of Black rage. And those racist white mangas that follow Tatum, they will watch him even more and make him even more money. This is what all of this is about.
Yes, it's all about money. It's all a grift. This is disgusting. This is like I can't I don't even get it anymore. Like, shout out to Jim Rispo, shout out to Charles for doing this video. Because again, I didn't watch this on my own. So I'm happy he did this so I could cover it so we could find out more about it. But like, yeah, this is disgusting. Like, I don't know how people could just sell their soul like this. Like, you're just gonna sell your soul just like that? You want to sell out just like that? Like, come on now. Like, come on. Like, this ridiculous. Yeah, I'm gonna let the bro finish up.
It ain't about justice. It ain't about truth. It's about money and trolling your own community for dollars. That is all that it's about, period, full stop. Nothing more, nothing less. And if they tell you it's anything other than that, they're lying to you. This is and always has been about money. And one of the quickest ways to make money today is to be a Black person that takes a dump on Black people every single day. You're going to be raking in them dollars. Now, some people are just actually bad at even grifting that they can't even make money doing that, but you get the point. These are my thoughts. You guys let me know what you think in the comments. Catch you on the next show. Peace.
Yeah, shout out to the bro. You already know we hit the thumbs up on this. Make sure y'all go subscribe to his other channel. Make sure you go subscribe to all his channels. Again, shout out to Dreamers Pro, friend of the channel. Him, Dreamers Pro, Afro Think Tank, Naps, Nasheed for you. I think, who else? Yeah, those are friends of the channels. Constant providers who are friends of the channel. Yeah, it's disgusting. It is the new grift. It is the new grift. But it's the new grift, but it's an old grift. Sitting around buck dancing for white people's attention and attacking other Black people, that's an old grift. Just that the type of with the way they doing it is new. It's like, all right, you want us to buck dance about immigration? That's the new grift. Oh, you want us to buck dance about Black death? That's the new grift. Like, you want us to rage bait Black people on the internet? That's the new grift. But like, the core of it is still the same. The core of it is still the same. But anyway, let's I want to go to this. Shout out to the amazing Lucas. We didn't cover him in a long time. He's talking about Talarico and voting in Texas. Let's see what he got to say. Shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to Dogtown Slick. You said, what's my email? My email, this is my email. Let me put it in right now. Let me put my email in right now. Boom. You see it? That's my email. That's my email. That's my email. So yeah, it's in the comment section. Yeah, owning the libs. These people are sick and disgusting. But yeah, let's keep this going. Let's keep this going. Shout out to everybody in the building. Let's see what the amazing Lucas got to say about Talarico and the Black vote.
It's looking kind of rough. Oh my goodness. So as we all know, James Talarico is running for Senate office. Now, I won't say he's gotten a warm welcome because it's been a welcome. Okay, it's been some form of welcome, but it's been a bumpy road. I will say that because Talarico understands that he can't win the seat without the Black vote. And we're not talking about, oh, I want the Black vote, right? You know how some people do. And we're talking about he needs it, right? He's running at around 60%. He needs those numbers to go to 70 to 80, hopefully, to really seal that gap that he has. I think it's a 1 point gap. So he really needs to seal that. And that is exactly what I love to see. I'm not going to lie. I love to see this right now because this is precisely when you put foot to rear end. That's exactly what black people have been doing, because Talarico not too long ago had a town hall, and did black people show up. But there was this black woman who was like, listen, either you answer our questions or you suffer the consequences.
So you stay here, you answer our questions, or you suffer the consequences.
So I'm happy to engage. We'll come to here in just a second. I appreciate you being here, and I appreciate you traveling in. And
I don't know nothing about this town hall. Let's keep watching. I don't know nothing about this town hall.
I appreciate
I did
you.
it for my people, not for you.
Wonderful. And I think that's wonderful. I think that's wonderful.
Damn! And let me just say, that's exactly how we need to be talking to these people.
Nah, I gotta disagree with that. That kind of combativeness is not helpful. Not how helpful. That kind of combativeness probably could have worked in the 2010s, but it can't work now. Can't work now. In fact, he probably will get more support by having to deal with stuff like that, where people see like, oh, this is the type of people that that don't like him. Because remember, if people have done that before, where we had Democrats win elections by showing that black people like her are in opposition to them. They have gotten a lot of votes by just showing that they're in opposition to them. But yeah, I do believe that pressure should be applied, but not like that. Not like that. Not now. But yeah, let's keep this going. But again, I can't call it. Sister got to do it. She's doing it how she think is best. I'm not in Texas, so maybe that is what is needed. I'm on the outside looking in. Yep, apply pressure. I just wouldn't apply it like that, but hey, to each his own. We're going to see the results of it.
I beg your pardon.
Now, there may be some who are like, oh, she needed to be respectful. But no. Anyone telling you to step and fetch it with these mofos? Absolutely not. Especially since we don't really even like him since he beat out Jasmine Crockett. So we really not even with you like that. So 100%. You should be, and I will say this, if Jasmine Crockett had won, we should be talking to her like that as well. Damn. Listen, boo, you either stand here and answer our questions or you lose. Those are your only options, all right? And when it comes to Talarico, that's exactly how black people in Texas need to be talking to him, foot to rear end. And that goes for every one of them, all right? Every single one of them, especially those that need the black vote to get into office. Because you have to understand, they're going to be in office for 6 years. That's 6 years guaranteed. I mean, for the most part, it's guaranteed. There are ways to get someone out, but it's guaranteed. You get a Senate seat, guaranteed, fam. So the type of vetting that is going to need to be done, especially if you're getting in off of the black vote, I'm sorry, it's going to have to be very, very invasive, where you're going to have to scrutinize this individual, because you know how these mofos talk. They, run around in circles, they obfuscate, they lie via omission, they will say anything and everything to get your vote. And I'm glad to see black people asking some serious questions. They're like, hey, what you going to do? What are you going to do for us? And just to interrupt for a second, I want to let everyone know of blackvotewatch.org.
Yeah, this is like, like I said, because I don't think I gotta relook into the Texas thing. Because I think Talarico can still win without getting the same level of black support that Jasmine Crockett got. I think he can still win. And it's a good chance he might win. And if he wins without that support, that's just game over. Because like I've been telling people, I said this is a new Democratic Party. People keep thinking this is the 2010s. It's not. It's a new day. They running new people that they never would have ran before. Like they never would have ran these people before. And again, they building coalitions that never existed before. The fact that Talarico is even 1 point behind in Texas for a Senate seat, even without black support, is crazy. Like, how easy would it be to make up that 1%, that 2% with another community? We in a very bad spot, man. Very bad spot. Lee, you say you sent me 2 pictures? Let me see about those pictures. I can't show them on the internet, though. But it's Jason Tatum with a white privilege shirt and a white woman on his chest. That tracks. That tracks. But yeah, let's get back to this.
Website which helps Black America. That is what we are, and to shield ourselves from those who would like to exploit Black America. Now, in response to this, Talarico has put out, hey, we're putting out 25 million. We're dedicated 25 million to the Black community for voter outreach. I'm like, that's good. That's good. That's a start, pimping.
But I can say tonight that we are planning on spending $25 million on Black voter outreach in this campaign. And that is the largest investment in Black voter outreach in the history of Texas politics.
Well, it has to be the biggest ever because it's a pretty big race, right? And you want the seat. So it really boils down to how bad you want the seat. 25 million, it seems like you want the seat pretty bad, bro. Now, I would ask, where'd you get that 25 million from? Those would be the questions I had, all right? Where'd you get that 25 million to put into the Black community? Because I'm guessing that I would think that you would have more of a duty to the people who...
That 25 million ain't going to Black people. That might go to some Black people pockets, but that's not for the Black community. Remember, that's outreach. That's to say, hey, Black people, vote for me. It's not, hey, this 25 million, I'm doing this in the community. Now you should vote for me. It's saying, hey, he's paying people 25 million, some type of consulting group, to go out into the Black community and tell them, hey, vote for me, vote for me, vote for me. So that's not necessarily going into the Black community in their pockets. Yes, Talarico does have Black support. He has a lot of Black support, but they want Black people to come out like the way they came out for Jasmine Crockett to guarantee the W. That's why it's a good chance Talarico could still win, even with Black people not coming out heavy like that. Like, as far as I know, he's only 1 point behind. It is too easy to make up that 1 point vote. Too easy. But to ensure victory, he definitely needs Black people to come out like they came out for Jasmine Crockett. To ensure victory, he definitely needs that. Shout out to Justin March. He just reminded me, yep, we 2 away from the goal, family. We 2 away from the goal. We 2 away from the goal. Let's see if we can make that happen. Shout out to Percy. Let me see. He's from Texas and he's intelligent. So let's see what he got to say. I don't believe Texas polls neither. I that's why I said, like, maybe he's not that close. Maybe one, he's not. I don't think he probably won. That's why I said, like, maybe it's more like 2. But you might be right about that. You're right. Matter of fact, you're not about maybe right. I'm pretty sure you're right. He's definitely going to need Black people to come out like they came out for Jasmine Crockett to guarantee the W. Is there a way he can win without them coming out like that? Probably. But the only way to guarantee the W is for that. That's why you had Bosch, the bozo. Well, I'm not even going to call him a bozo. Because, again, he pushing his political project. I got my own political project. Bosch, the least racist lefty on YouTube, was attacking Jasmine Crockett. Like, hey, you got to get out here and push Talarico. You got to get out here and push Talarico. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm jacking that. I'm jacking that. He definitely, again, the only way to guarantee victory is Black people coming out 70, 80% for him. Big numbers. And big numbers. But yeah, let's keep it going. But you know what? But like I said, no matter what happens with this race, it's going to help the white lefties. Because again, there's only 3 things that could pretty much happen. Talarico loses, and they use that as a justification to blame Black people, to say that, hey, he lost because he was still doing too much woke stuff, too much identity politics, blah, 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 blah. We need somebody to get in there and just talk about class. Look how close he was, and he talked about class a little and talked about wokeness a little bit less. Now imagine how much more he could have did if he would have just went straight for class. That's what's going to happen. Or he wins, and he wins without a majority of Black support. And they're going to say, see, we told you. We got the model. This is the new model. This is the new way to win general elections without catering to Black people. Just like Mondani did. Just like others have done. Or 3, he does win, and he does win with overwhelming black support. And they're going to be like, see, we don't have to cater to black people. They going to vote blue no matter who. See, we got a politician that they don't like and they don't want, but they still, at the end of the day is over. When the general came, they still showed up and voted for him. We win regardless. We win regardless. So yes, let's do more class reductionism. Let's do more of it. Black people going to support us regardless, so don't worry about them. So I see this as a negative all around. Like the outcome of this election is a negative all around. No matter how it shake out, it's a negative. Shout out to Urban Palmer for the double up with 10 jewels. He came through and supported again with more jewels. Much appreciated. Thank you. Thank you. Make sure y'all shouting out Urban Palmer. Whole lot of ones with a whole lot of nuns. Again, I don't even know what the jewels add up to. I don't know what the gems add up to, but it's something good. So I'm jacking it. But yeah, let's get back to this.
Gave you that 25 million than the black people you're using to get in during this election. But that's just me, right? I'm a pessimist, right? I try to see, 6 years, 6 steps ahead to see where these demons, what they trying to do, bro. I mean, not saying that Talarico's a demon, but it just is what it is. That being said, I think this is perfect. This is 100% what needs to be happening. And there is a question that was asked during this town hall. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not really fond of how he answered it, but I understand. Okay. And what I mean by that, this guy who was talking about, hey, well, are you going to believe in reparations, for black Americans? And what about, an anti-black crime bill?
This country has given reparations and support the state of Israel since 1960. We've also given reparations to Japanese as well. With the onslaughts of police brutality of black Americans here in America, this has been going on for some time now. Do you support reparations, and would you legislate for an anti-black crime bill? Thank you.
I don't know who's asking this question. I can't see if the person is white or black. And that's relevant because there are white people who ask these questions as a way to sabotage people and use it against them. Like we know that a lot of white people were the ones who were asking politicians to come out and Democratic politicians to come out and support reparations to create a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. If you say no, they'll use that to attack you and say, hey, black people, don't vote for him. He ain't going to give you reparations. He don't believe in reparations. And if they say yes, they're going to say, look, white people, don't vote for him. No, or nobody don't vote for him. He's pro reparations. If you vote for him, he's going to give black people reparations. Shout out to McKinsley. You say, yeah, he does look white and sound white. He does look white and sound right. Because remember, the people who was asking Obama about reparations were white. And I'm pretty sure they didn't support reparations. And I'm pretty sure this could be a white person who's been listening to FBA. And he's asking him this as to get him to co-sign it so he could use that to attack him. So that could be the case. Let's keep playing it. Let's see what's going on.
And everyone's applauding. Now, the issue I have with this is because, listen, bro, I don't know what to tell y'all, bro, but you have to understand, I'm not saying Talarico, I don't know him like that, but you have to understand, until you know who you talking to, you have to assume that they come from the lineage of evil, especially if they going into politics. Okay, it just is what it is. I'm gonna be honest with you. That being said, the reason why I don't like the framing of how he asked that question is because reparations is meaningless. That's a meaningless term. Until you lay out what reparations looks like, it's a meaningless term. Until you lay out what a black crime bill looks like, it's a meaningless term. So how Talarico interprets this is exactly how he answered it. It's like, hey, well, yeah, we believe in reparative, justice, right? We need to repair the communities.
Restoration, repairing past harms,
is part of my faith tradition. It's part of the values I was raised with. And it's exactly why we need a lot of the policies we've been talking about here to invest in Black communities, to invest in Black Texans, whether it's tuition relief, whether it's home ownership grants, whether it is baby bonds to ensure that we are helping to build that generational wealth. We have to correct the injustices of our past. I talked about St. Branch, Texas.
I gotta agree with Amazing Lucas on that. It is, if you're not defining reparations and you're not defining an anti-Black crime bill, then yeah, you leaving it vague enough where somebody could answer the way Talarico is answering right now. Shout out to Percy coming through again. He's from Texas, so we're gonna hear what he got to say about this. Yes, correct. Oh, a part I didn't know about this is that you say he's not doing good in the area he's from. No, you didn't say he was from there. You say you didn't think he didn't do as good in the valley as he thought he would. Yeah, so he's definitely gonna need Black people to push him through. Definitely to come out at big numbers, the same way they came out for Jasmine Crockett. Big numbers, but he might not get it though. But again, even if he does get it, it's still all bad. It's still all bad. It's still all bad. We shouldn't even be in this position, but hey, it is what it is. Let's keep it going.
I don't think I mentioned that Sam Branch is a treatment community. So we are seeing the reverberations of slavery in modern day Texas, all over the place. And until we as a society are committed to righting those past wrongs, of restoring our Black communities, we're never going to be able to get this country back on track.
Repairing the communities and reparations are not the same thing. Okay. Now it can be a byproduct of reparations that the communities are repaired, but those are not the same thing. And you have to understand is that when you hear this speech or when you hear this talk of reparative, justice or repairing the communities and the Black communities, that can come into, that can mean anything. That can mean, hey, every kid gets, $5 for lunch. That's repairing the communities. Hey, we're now going to clean the streets. We're going to make sure the streets are clean, twice a week or something like that. So it becomes very vague. It becomes very ambiguous as opposed to what reparations can be interpreted to. And that's what I'm saying. You got to be very crystal clear what your demands are, what your numbers are, what they look like, where are we getting this money from? All that has got to be laid out, because if you give it to a politician to interpret, that's exactly what they're going to do. Okay, they're going to interpret it so that it's a very broad stroke that, hey, it helps out your community. That's what we're looking to do, and that's what he says. So I don't like that. But however, having said that, I don't expect Talarico to know everything about reparations. I don't expect Talarico to know what Black people want for reparations. I don't expect that from him. That is our job, to relay our desires and our needs and our grievances to this man.
Exactly. That's correct. I agree 110% with everything he just said at that last bit. Because I always say that to the FBA. That's how you always knew that it was all lies. They never actually did the work. They never actually did the work. Never did. They never did the work. The work necessary that if you was really serious about reparations, they never did it. They even attacked people who were doing it. Like M. Cobra. They attacked HR 40. They did all that. And they didn't replace it with nothing. You even got Yvette Carnell running a grift right now where she's saying, give me $100K so I could do a study for reparations, even though she attacked HR 40, which is a study. It's like with the Freedmen bozos in California, where they pushed for the California government to create a Freedmen's Bureau where they would get paid 6 figures a year to sit around and study reparations. Can't make this up. Shout out to a pimp named Slickback for coming through with the 5. He got me 1 away from my goal. Much appreciated, bro, for coming through with the 5. Let's see. Exactly. You are correct. We are years behind. Like I said, best case scenario is 40 years just to get us back to zero or somewhere near it. 40 years. 40 years. Because people couldn't be bothered to vote one day out the year. against an obvious racist who was the Ku Klux Klan's candidate of choice. Can't make this up. Can't make this up. But salute, bro. Thank you for coming through with that 5. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Let's keep this going.
That's true. That's true. That's what you have to understand. I think that's where Black people are missing it in politics, is that you just expect these people to know everything you want. First off, they don't care. And B, they don't. Okay, they're a whole bunch of spinning plates that they're trying to do. They got donors, they got this, a whole bunch of stuff. So for you to expect them to know, oh yeah, this is what they want. They want, Black Americans are descendants of slavery who have been here for for this period of time. They want this amount of it. They don't. That's not how that works, brother. It's just not how that works. So you've got to relay that to them. You've got to communicate. When it comes to the anti-Black policing bill, once again, that doesn't mean anything. Because what does that mean? If you're talking to someone who's never heard of an anti-Black policing bill, they don't know what that means. They can get a general sense of what you're looking for, which is, hey, you want to end police brutality, right? Now, what you actually mean can be very night and day. So what does he go back to? He goes back to the George Floyd Policing Act.
The George Floyd Act didn't even make it to the House floor. So while we made progress for Javier.
Exactly. It didn't even make it to the House floor. That's another thing. When I was talking to that bozo, I was talking to one of these bozos when they was crying about, well, how come the Asians got this but Black people can't get certain things? And I pointed out that because Republicans are blocking it lockstep, but they don't block those other things. That's why. Oh, shout out to Justin March for coming through with the 2. We hit the goal for the night, family. Much appreciated. Whole lot of ones, we a whole lot of nuts. I want to thank everybody who participated tonight for helping me reach that goal. Thank you so much. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. And tomorrow, family, don't forget, we're doing the Q&A. So any questions you got for me, let me know. I will be dropping the link. If you want to come up and talk to me, we're going to do it all tomorrow. Much appreciated.
While we made progress in banning these reality TV policing programs, we failed to pass the George Floyd Act, which would have been transformational in ensuring that police officers are actually protecting and serving all of us. And I hope that when we win this seat, when we win a Senate majority, we will be able to pass federal legislation to protect all Americans from police violence, including our Black communities.
Once again, I'm all for the George Floyd Policing Act. Get rid of qualified immunity. They should not have it, okay? No one should have it. So when George Floyd Policing Act, that is absolutely A+. If you want to push that through 100%, let's freaking go. However, I would argue that the George Floyd Policing Act and an anti-Black crime bill are not the same thing, Pimpin. When people think of an anti-Black crime bill, they're thinking of, well, we want additional charges, we want additional penalties for anti-Black behavior, right? The same thing we've seen with the Stop Asian Hate Crime bill, even though, as I've said before, it didn't do anything specifically for Asians, okay? Just like this bill wouldn't do specifically for Black people. But, it's one of those bills where you want a nod, right? You want acknowledgement. This would be a do-nothing bill, in my opinion, because there's nothing they can do specifically for Black people.
I disagree with that. It's not a do-nothing bill. And again, it's programmatic. That's how it's supposed to be done. Programmatically. For you don't know, what does programmatic mean in terms of politics? It's when you do a policy, you can't do a policy for one group. Cool. So you do the policy in a way where it's not technically for that one group, but in reality, it's for that one group. Like when they want to help Latinos, they do immigration reform. Technically, immigration reform benefits anybody who needs the help, but who needs that help the most? Latinos. Just like with the H-1B1 visas, who benefits off that the most? The Indian community. Are there other communities who benefit off it? Yes, but that's an issue that you can do that really help the Indian community. Just like justice reform, that helps Black people the most because we're the ones who get railroaded the most by the justice system. We're the ones. So that helps us the most. And on and on and on and on. So it's not necessarily a do-nothing bill. And I agree. Those should be two separate bills. But that's something that people would have to let the politicians know and push. Because again, as a politician, they probably thinking it's one and the same. And in a way, it is one and the same. You can argue that the George Floyd bill is it's an anti-black hate crime bill. But you can also argue that, well, it's not enough, or we might need to amend it and add more stuff to it. Or we need that, but we also need another bill on top of that. Just like the civil rights movement. You got the Civil Rights Act, you got the Voting Rights Act. They needed two things. Just like a Reconstruction Amendment. We got the 13th Amendment, 14th Amendment, and 15th Amendment. So yeah, I think it's more than one too. But again, the people have to be politically active and push that.
Because that would be in violation, of equality clause, yada, yada, yada. They have all their ways of telling you why they can do something for you. But I get that. I understand. You have an anti-Asian hate crime bill, even though that wasn't the official name of the bill. We want something like that in return. That symbolic gesture, that's what that anti-black crime bill would be. Now, I will say, if it comes to the anti-black crime bill and the George Floyd Policing Act, I think we should 100% go all in the George Floyd Policing Act, because that will have change, dramatic change and drastic change overnight. Officer loses qualified immunity. Well, then they start thinking about, hey, how should I go about this situation? How do I preserve life so that I don't get screwed? And that's exactly how they should be thinking. Instead of thinking, well, the city's going to pay for it, right? If I screw up, the city's going to pay for it. Or, there's not enough evidence to get me, to indict me on a grand jury. That's not how they should be thinking. Overall, it seems to be going well. And this is exactly how Black people need to be moving, right? There's a reason why I created a blackvotewatch.org. This is exactly how we need to be moving, holding these people's feet to the fire before they get in office. And that is so crucial. Y'all don't understand. Because when these mofos, these foundational people were screaming and hollering at Mamdani, that is not when you scream at him, bro. You scream and you talk and you do everything you can to communicate to this person before they get into office. So how Black Texans are handling Talarico, this is how everyone needs to handle their politicians before they get into office. Okay, we put foot to fire. That's how that needs to happen. So this is great. Anyways, guys, that's the video. Let me know what you guys think.
Yeah, that was a good video. I'll overall agree with it. Overall, the main points of it, I agree with it. Shout out to Kung Fu Kenny for being a member of the channel for 2 months. He's been a level 3 member for 2 months. He got his own membership, or I don't know, maybe he got gifted it by somebody, but he kept it going. Shout out to bro. Make sure y'all shout out Kung Fu Kenny. You already know, red, black, and green, BYB. This is how we gonna push it. Oh, I think he did. Justin March, I think you did gift him the membership, and he just kept it going. Or you might have gifted him a membership, and then you might have gifted him another one, and then renewed it for him. I don't know. Either way, he's shouting out Justin March, my first moderator. Make sure y'all shout him out too, bro. Shout him out. Shout out to everybody who came through today. Much appreciated. Yeah, I gotta go because I definitely got an early busy day tomorrow. So I gotta get on that. Sorry about that, family. But yeah, at least we hit everything. We hit everything we were supposed to hit, and even a little bit more. So shout out to everybody in the building. Oh, you said Justin March gifted you it first. Yes. See? Shout out to Justin March again. Shout out to Justin March. Thank you, bro, for all that support. All that support for all this time. Shout out to you. But yeah, let's do this real quick. I want to give all the shout outs tonight before I get out of here. Shout out to Milton for coming through with the 440 gems. Thank you. Much appreciated. Shout out to East Coast Kev for coming through with the 10. Shout out to Mr. G, to the love for coming through with 800 gems. Excuse me. Oh, can't even talk. Gems. Shout out to Mr. G's for coming through with 200 gems. Shout out to the Boogeyman for coming through with the 1999. Much appreciated. Shout out to Justin March for gifting 20 memberships. Family, if Justin March gifted you a membership, make sure you keep it going. Just like Kung Fu Kenny did. Make sure you thank him and you keep it going. Shout out to the Boogeyman for coming through for doubling up and coming through with the 499. Shout out to Irvin Palmer for coming through with the 10 gems. Much appreciated. Shout out to the Boogeyman for tripling up, coming through with the 999. Shout out to Lee D. Clinton for coming through with the 5. Shout out to Lee D. Clinton for coming through with the 5 again. Shout out to East Coast Kev for coming through with a 5. This is his double up. Shout out to East Coast Kev for coming through with a 5 again. Triple up. Shout out to East Coast Kev for coming through with the 10. Quadruple up. Much appreciated. Shout out to Romario for coming through with the 20. Much appreciated. Shout out to Carlton for coming through with the 20 gems. Much appreciated. Shout out to Justin March for coming through with the 2. Unity, you already know. Shout out to McKinsley for coming through with the Canadian 5. Shout out to Reg for coming through with the 5. Shout out to Kevin for coming through with the British 5, 5 pounds. Shout out to Ogo 316 for coming through with the 199. Whole lot of ones, read a whole lot of nuns any day of the week. Shout out to Eric for coming through with the 450. 440 gems. Much appreciated. Shout out to Madison for coming through with the 199. Shout out to Yellen for coming through with the €2. Whole lot of ones, read a whole lot of nuns. Shout out Purcell for coming through with the $5 Cash App. Family, remember, if you hit me on the Cash App, the Venmo, or the PayPal, just let me know if you want the shout out, or you just want the shout out. You don't want me to say the amount, or you want me to read your comment, or whatever the case may be. Let me know. Shout out to Reg for coming through with a 5. Shout out to Monty for coming through with 250 gems. Shout out to Irvin Palmer for coming through with 10 gems, the double up. Whole lot of ones beat a whole lot of nuns. You already know. Shout out to a pimp named Slickback for coming through with the 5. Shout out to Justin March for coming through with the 2, helping me reach the goal. And shout out to Kenny for being a member of the channel, level 3 for 2 months. But yeah, I'm out of here, family. Good night and be safe. Good night, good evening, good afternoon, whatever you got going on. And shout out to everybody who came through with the fire emojis, everything. If you donated, thank you. Yeah, shout out to East Coast Kev for coming through with like that. Yeah, family. Shout out to everybody. Yeah, Justin March is a boss. Shout out to everybody. If you drop the fire emoji, shout out to you for dropping that fire emoji. Much appreciated. If you drop a comment, that's support. Appreciate it. You hit that reaction heart. That's support. Appreciate it. Any way you can support the stream, do it. Remember, I got a strike on my channel, so I'm out the algorithm. Only your support brings me back into the algorithm. And all support is appreciated. Just dropping a comment, just engaging with the content, support, liking the stream, support. All that is support. All that is support. And I appreciate it all. Also, family, as you can see, the Nightbot put up, those are all my channels. On your way out, subscribe to all my channels. Subscribe to all my channels. Because again, like I said, they striking me. So subscribe to all my channels. Because you never know when a channel might go down. So I can still keep it going. And I do post unique content to all those different channels. So yeah, make sure you do that. Oh, shout out to Chocolate Lyrics in the building. Thank you. Yeah. Just type in the word support and dropping it is support. Shout out to the Boogeyman. Shout out to Dogtown Slick. I got your email. I'm gonna check it out when I get off. Much appreciated, bro. Much appreciated. But shout out to everybody for coming through. Thank you. Good night. Good afternoon. Good evening. Whatever. I gotta go. And on that note, family, peace.